the standing of Yunwu Station, the long hair of Yunwu floating in the breeze, but the frightening ancient sword in her hand made her look like a female murderer. It's the aroma of wine that attracts them. Desert animals have a very sensitive sense of smell. This wine is made from the magic crystal of desert animals. The special smell naturally emitted by human body will make desert animals more crazy. Then you let me drink. Looking at the night as if nothing had happened, the bottom of Yunwu's heart flashed a touch of possibility. Suddenly, he was so angry that he accidentally caught his way. Cloud Dance's sharp eyes let night alone. The woman's eyes, it's really elusive. It's less the clear vitality of ordinary women, and more a chaotic world full of vicissitudes. The radiance of night mouth is fleeting, which is more and more interesting. Let's just say, what's the purpose? The night clearly perceives the strong cold behind the clouds, and gradually, the cold turns into murderous. Fool, you are our benefactor on the top of the desert. What purpose can I have? Don't worry. I didn't set you up. It's just that you are greedy. Night is still that handsome smile very seriously said. Cloud Dance's eyes are colder, and his anger is fiercer. He's really eloquent. However, Cloud Dance cannot refute, for this man, she is really too low vigilance. Don't be angry. I really have no purpose. If Yunwu girl feels angry, she can relax her muscles and bones. Night smile, pointing to the distance. Cloud Dance brow tiny wrinkly, follow what he points to at ease to see. In the distance, dense small black spots appeared on the sand dunes, and they rushed forward with great momentum. Is this where you're going? The voice of Cloud Dance is very cold. Don't be angry. I'll drink it too. Cloud Dance. If I can go back alive tonight, I will not give up. Haha, I'm going to give you a big gift tomorrow. I'll come to the door to apologize myself. Yes, Huang said with a smile, as if the dark desert beast had nothing to do with him. Rustling roaring. The original weak sound gradually deafening, and there are countless desert animals in all directions. Here we are. The night sinks a voice way. The imposing manner is fierce, one sweep before of lazy. Roar. Roar, roar, damn it. Today is not the 15th day. Why so many? At least there are tens of thousands of desert animals. Yunwu's forehead is slightly sweating, and his eyes scan around quickly. All he sees are desert animals. The movement is no better than that of the scene surrounded by animal tide and Shaching. In the past, she was able to use the thunder of natural phenomena to help her fight, but now looking at the pair of scarlet eyes gathered around, the Cloud Dance felt a little bad. What kind of tricks are you playing in this night? Don't worry, it's just to loosen your muscles and bones. It will make you go back safely. Night suddenly turned his head and said with a mysterious smile. Cloud Dance eyebrow see you. For this man up to now she also can't guess. He tonight of purpose exactly of what. Thank you for your kind words. Yunwu looks back, and her pretty face flashes with a strong murderous air. She doesn't want to pay more attention to the night. Yunwu's hand holding Guwu de Geo tightens again. Ouch! The Cloud dances coldly, with a fierce eyebrow. Yu Guang finds a dark shadow leaping from the sky, stirring up energy in his body, and smashing it down with a big knife. Boom! The desert beast in midair was struck by the shining black on big knife, and burst into a pool of flesh and blood. In the process, Yunwu's eyes did not change at all. This move, let that night corner of the mouth smile deepen some. Looking at the Cloud Dance in the eyes flashed a touch of undercurrent. It seems that this beautiful woman has a new definition. Damn it. Yunwu felt a little bad and stepped back. A desert beast died in Yunwu's hand, and the strong smell of blood rushed into Yunwu's nose. The smell of blood also completely angered the desert beasts surrounding them, and they slowly approached. Ouch! Ouch! Two desert beasts suddenly jumped into the air, opened their tusks and big mouths, and roared fiercely at the clouds. To die. Phew! With a flash of black light, the desert beast in midair suddenly stops, and then falls to the foot of Cloud Dance. Cold Mao glanced at an eye. Calmly will splash on the arm, blood wiped clean. Be careful. The night reminds away. Nearly 10 desert beasts came one after another. Don't just say it, help. Cloud Dance gently somersault in the air to avoid the attack of a flash of cold light and claws. As soon as its toes hit the ground, 2 desert beasts came from left to right. Bang bang dash, click and rub dash the cloud danced, and its legs crossed a perfect arc in the air. There was a sound of broken bones. The two desert beasts flew out and fell in front of other desert beasts. They vomited blood, whined and twitched for several times, but there was no movement. Listen to the sound of bone fragmentation. Nightbrow a pick. This woman's fighting power is really amazing. Are you really going to watch the play? Throw away the blood left on the blade of ancient martial arts, and step on the corpse of desert beast. He turned his head and glanced at the knight coldly. At this time of cloud dance posture, there is a kind of arrogant fearless. Don't be careless, it's just a tentative attack in front of them, and then... Ouch! In the middle of the night talk, you can see something from the corner of your eyes, and your eyes suddenly sink. Be careful. Outside, dozens of desert beasts leaped into the sky, waving cold light claws and attacking the clouds from different directions. The cloud dance, which has been keeping a high vigilance, hears the cry of the night and gives a cold glance, which makes the astonishing chill appear madly. Boom dash green silk swung back, and the graceful figure of cloud dancing crossed an arc in the air. The surrounding air seemed to be frozen by the chill, and a huge black flame was cut out of the air by the ancient martial art sword. Everywhere they went, the air was exploding, and dozens of desert beasts were drowned in black flames and turned into ashes. Roar! Although Yunwu wiped out most of the desert beasts, there were still several desert beasts rushing to Yunwu with the attack of black flame. Yunwu's face was startled, and he tried his best to block the ancient Wu sword in front of him. Ding dash ding, the slender arms tremble, the ancient sword chants gently, and the clouds dance, only to feel the powerful waves sweeping by. A trail had already been drawn out of the sand under his feet. Ow dash, the last largest desert beast jumped up at the opportunity, infused his right claw with all his strength, and attacked the clouds fiercely. Level 9 Warcraft? Feeling that strong breath, Yunwu was a little frightened for the first time. For such a long time, in addition to the dragon, she was the first time to meet the level 9 Warcraft. Chong dash, the ancient sword in his hand was suddenly hit and knocked down. And the desert beast didn't mean to retreat at all. After knocking down Gu Wu's sword in Yunwu's hand, he shouts fiercely, and then attacks Yunwu's body again. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed cold light. This is to kill her. In fact, Cloud Dance can summon her contract beast early, so she will not be so embarrassed. However, she was waiting to see what the purpose of this man was. But now Yunwu had to work hard to avoid the attack, and the desert beast was already high level. A continuous attack made Yunwu unprepared. In addition to the continuous attack, Guwu de Geo was knocked down. Yunwu, who lost the initiative, had to turn attack into defense. Few dash in mid-air, a wisp of green silk was slipped by the sharp claws and floated down. All of a sudden, a few desert beasts hibernate and attack. Yunwu is unprepared, and his left shoulder is broken by the claws. Severe pain let Cloud Dance can't help but dull hum. Kiki after falling on the sand and rolling several times. Yunwu drew 3 bloodstains on his left shoulder, and his clothes were soaked with red blood. Struggling to stand up, the desert beast's attack is not only skin trauma, but also the huge impact nearly cracked Yunwu's left shoulder blade. What a powerful force. Cloud Dance wiped a trace of blood from the corner of his mouth, and picked up the ancient sword on the ground again. Hello, are you a man? Yu Guang catches a glimpse of the man, holding up the wine bag and drinking wine leisurely. The cloud dances and suddenly the fire cap is 3 zhang. Don't worry, I said you can't die. Knight just like a smile, continue to leisurely drink wine. Cloud Dance coldly glanced one eye, the eye ground flashed a glimmer of chill. It seems that tonight's battle still depends on oneself. But tonight these desert beasts are all high level. What's more, it's more troublesome because of the large number and the cooperation between them. It seems that I really can't be brave. Cloud Dance cold as a circle, the corner of the mouth suddenly raised a cold radiance. Since you like to play the Sea of People tactics, then I will accompany you to play. At the end of the speech, several lights flashed out in the night. In the twinkling of an eye, small Stinky Blue Yu and other contract animals have appeared in front of Cloud Dance. Master. Mama. I can have another full meal tonight, Gaga. Well. Nightbrow suddenly a wrinkle, lift wine bag also done in midair, looking at that breath completely changed cloud dance. I almost forgot that she is a multi-department summoner. But then it's more and more interesting. With a faint smile, the knight regained its beautiful smile and drank wine leisurely. Hongling, Xiao Smelly, how about a barbecue dinner tonight? Cloud Dance suddenly hook lip way. The ferocious Hongling and Xiaoqiu couldn't bear it for a long time. Although I like raw food, I dare to provoke my master and roast them. Yes to barbecue. The two little guys said, and the hot smell suddenly started. The blazing atmosphere became more and more intense, and the surrounding desert animals could not bear the blazing heat, and wanted to retreat. Yunwu's body hovers in the air, and looks coldly at the desert animals around. Lan Yu and Bai Schwettersheeting, the three elder guys, have already separated from each other in three directions after they come out of the contract ring, and start their respective attacks. Boom. Roar. The whole night sky is not very calm. On the other side of the cloud dance, it was getting hotter and hotter, and the desert beasts didn't dare to get close for a moment. Until Small Stink can't help but spread wings, flying in the air. Poof dash Phoenix. A mouthful of liquor spurted out. Night Eyes slightly strange stare big. Incredible looking at the Small Stink flying up. When did the Phoenix family have such strange blood? When you see the appearance of the little Stink clearly, the knight can't help murmuring in surprise. But there is something strange in the bottom of your eyes. Obviously, I didn't find that Xiaoqiu was the identity of the Phoenix family at first. Ouch dash little Stink looked up and roared. The hot waves rolled up a gust of wind, and the desert animals retreated one after another. Little Stink, barbecue me. Yunwu's face was cold and emotionless. He gave an order. Mama, wait for the meat. Small Stink, a spirit, violently burst out a big red fire into dozens of flames, toward the desert beast swept away. Ouch! Wherever the fire goes, all desert animals infected with the fire twist their bodies in pain and fall on the ground, convulsing and wailing violently. After a while, there was a faint smell of barbecue in the air. Seeing that Xiao Smelly had already made a move, Hongling was not willing to fall behind. In a moment, the huge and ferocious original shape released, opened the big mouth of the Fang's blood basin, and suddenly attacked the surrounding desert animals. Ouch! Ouch! A moment later, the space was covered by a thick cloud of smoke. The ground was covered with charred black bodies. Other desert animals looked up and screamed. They fell down on the charred bodies and bit them. Damn you filthy low-level sandworms, you can eat your own kind. That's my uncle's ration. I dare to eat it in my mouth. I want to die. Hongling, that arrogant voice, roaring spread all over the night sky. Poof dash just filled with wine, it gushes out again, and the aroma of the wine overflows. Night touched the mouth of the wine Zay. Pick eyebrow whisperer really have what kind of master have what kind of contract beast, only, this plant can also be contract. But it's really interesting. The cloud danced and glanced at the night coldly. All of a sudden, the air of wine dispersed, and the desert animals around seemed to be stimulated, and they all looked up and smelled something in the air. Then, the fierce light was shining, staring at the clouds and the night. If you want to drink, don't go away. Do you mean it? He himself said that it was his wine that attracted this group of animals. Even if he didn't help, he would still spray wine from time to stimulate them. Cloud Dance said, not angry, it is absolutely false. The knight blinked and laughed apologetically. Go away without help. This time, Yunwu really didn't have much mood to talk to him. Maybe she shouldn't come out with him tonight, no matter what his destination is. Anyway, she has got what she wants and is leaving the top of the desert, isn't she? Looking at the approaching desert beast, the clouds are dancing and the eyes are full of vigilance. Come on. With a flash of black flame, Yunwu takes the initiative to attack, and lightly jumps on Xia Stinky's back. Small Stink extremely cooperate, red fire condenses again, and the black flame of cloud dance up and down, sweeping away with momentum. Boom! Hundreds of desert beasts turned into fireballs in the air and scattered ashes. However, one wave of desert beasts was destroyed, and another wave of desert beasts rushed up. Hundreds of ferocious desert beasts came running with their limbs and muscles agitated. The cloud wields the ancient martial arts big knife, cuts open the belly of a desert beast, the blood scatters on the ground. The wind and sand blowing, disgusting blood crazy stimulate the brain, smoke the clouds frown. Roar. Yu Guang suddenly catches a glimpse of a dark shadow. The speed is so fast that Yunwu has just come to his eyes. It's a green and red-eyed desert animal. It's big. It's the king of beasts. The giant claw is raised, which is several times bigger than the ordinary desert beast, and its strength is also several times stronger. It's too late for Yunwu to fight against the big knife. Yunwu tried his best to measure his body and avoid the most lethal claw. Bang dash, cloud dance. Night shock, palm of a wave of energy. However, in the next second, night but suddenly eyebrows slightly pick. Handsome face showed a smile. The action in the hand also stopped. Cloud dance glanced at that night. The cold light at the bottom of the eye flashed. Damn, I don't want to help at this time at this moment. Yunwu even felt the breath of death in the air, and was preparing to fight hard. Well. Cloud dance suddenly turned his head and looked to the distance. A sharp breath from the distance quickly close. This breath is a flash of dark shadow. A handsome and coquettish face suddenly appeared in front of Yunwu. And Yunwu was stunned. Little thing, here comes my husband. Feeling the warm air blowing through his face, Yunwu smiles. This guy, the handsome face of Long Qingxia, evokes a mysterious arc, and his hands tightly embrace the little woman in his arms. Under the night sky, two figures cling together. The picture is beautiful. Only that unstoppable, hit a huge claw flashing cold light. Bang dash, Long Qingxia only felt a burst of tearing pain in his back, and the powerful force immediately beat them out. Feel the shoulder a heat flow, mixed with a faint smell of blood. Poof dash in the night sky, they hugged each other tightly and crossed a beautiful arc in the blood fog under the moonlight. But at that moment, a strange dark force suddenly burst out from the dragon's evil body, and the desert beasts around seemed to be swallowed by the dark force. Roar! Bang bang! The bloody sound of explosion. In the dark, it seems so clear. This not only let still attack small stink a burst of surprise. Even one side of the night also flashed a touch of consternation. It seems that I was surprised by the evil hand of the dragon. The smell of blood filled the night sky. Two figures in mid-air, also with the landing. Cough. Long Qingxia coughed blood foam, but he held Cloud Dance tightly in his arms and rolled several times on the ground. Are you all right? Cloud Dance quickly picked up the dragon to pour evil. Originally cold yin indifferent eyes dyed a trace of panic. Eyes deep emerge a layer of hazy. Don't worry. I'm fine. You forget that it's your skill to be a husband? The corner of the dragon's mouth was slightly hooked up, but his arm went to the willow waist like a cloud-dancing water snake. During that time, he took the opportunity to eat some tofu. But how can Yunwu not know that he did it on purpose, in order to let her rest assured? It's okay. Cloud Dance said, quickly helped him up. But the night came over at this time. Are you okay? Brother Long, I'm glad you came in time tonight. I don't know why, for this sentence of night, Yunwu couldn't help feeling angry. Almost can't help the impulse to sniff. This time I have this kind of experience, thanks to Yi Gongzi. Cloud Dance sneered. However, without waiting for the night to open his mouth, Long Qingxia hugged the clouds and stood up from the ground. This time, the dragon tilts evil to lift eyes. The golden pupil is not twinkling to that night. Wiped out the blood zay of the corner of the mouth. Smile not smile of the mouth to say a sentence. His nature is like this. It's probably just curiosity to do so, isn't it, Yi Gongzi? Is that the nature? What do you mean? Night. Haha. It's worthy of being the young master of the evil family. Does he know the identity of Long Qingxia? The cloud dances to smell speech. Can't help but tiny squint an eye to see that night. The night is still that handsome and kind smile, patted the shoulder of Dragon Qingxia gently and said in a soft voice. Brother Long, don't worry, girl Yunwu, isn't it okay? If she has something to do, can you still stand here and talk to me? This sentence is obviously threatening. This time, Long Qingxia was not abnormal, but the first cold anger with a gloomy face. This is also the first time for Yunwu to have inexplicable doubts about the identity of the man knight. Who the hell is that? How can the dragon be changed in this way? Little thing, Now you can see clearly that there are few good men in the world except me. Low voice, very light brush cloud dance ear. The clouds dance in tears and smiles. This man is really, however, his words also let Cloud Dance understand that Long Qingxia didn't want to reveal what was hidden to her. Why on earth? Why do you have to hide her? Brother Long, you really misunderstood. I didn't mean any harm to Miss Yunwu. What happened tonight was an accident. Is it? Long Qingxia's golden pupil narrowed, and there was a trace of killing intention in the bottom of his eyes, glaring at the knight. Brother Long, you can't be excited. The consequences will scare me, said the knight with a gentle smile. The consequences? Cloud Dance pick eyebrow, slant to overdo of saw the man nearby. From the golden eyes of Dragon Qingxia, Yunwu saw a very dark twinkling light for the first time. He has a clear hostility tonight. It's not the kind of hostility he used to have to his rival, but a strange hostility that can't be explained clearly. What's the matter? Cloud Dance low-voiced Dynasty Dragon Qingxia inquired. Dragon Qing evil smell. Golden pupil light dark flash. Half ring, just restore the evil spirit of the past, pulled the corner of the mouth. Just feel this man, not pleasing to the eye. What are you hiding from me? This time, Yunwu was sure. Do you believe me? Dragon Qing evil don't answer, partial low head of looking at Cloud Dance. If before I knew him, she would not believe it. But don't keep it from me for too long. Finally, Cloud Dance also said such a sentence. And the meaning of the words. How can Dragon Qingxia not understand it? However, at the time of the dialogue between Dragon and Cloud Dance, the knight laughs lightly, like a woman. General White tender palm a turn. The fire-red small jade bottle lies quietly in the palm. Try this. It's good for the wound. The secret medicine you made yourself? Cloud Dance glanced. He the knight said with a light smile. Miss Yunwu is extremely smart. This is a secret medicine made from a variety of precious medicinal materials. It has excellent curative effect on the injury. Then Knight handed the jade bottle to Yunwu. No, we don't need it. Yunwu didn't take it. The wound on her body is not serious, and Long Qingxia just took the blow for her. It's estimated that she was quite hurt, but with this man's temperament, it's estimated that he would never like her to take his medicine. What's more, the dragon has healing power. Knight slightly lung. Yunwu, take the medicine bottle. In the sea of consciousness, the voice of Black Pride suddenly rings out. Take it. Well, this man called Knight has a strange smell. Even I can't tell who he is. Moreover, he knew Long Qing Evil Tail was following you, said Black Proud. Pause for a while, then again Wei. The man is unfathomable. From the very beginning, I felt his consciousness scanning your body all the time. He almost found me several times. What? Hayo almost found out by him? What does that mean? Can he see through the chaos in her sea of consciousness? Or can you see through what's in her? But even Shengguanshang can't do it. Who is this knight? Yunwu was shocked for the first time. Then Yunwu hesitated. Take it. I'll use it. With that, the black fog began to shrink and disappear. Cloud Dance. Little thing. What are you stupid about? Long Qingxia reaches out his hand and shakes it. He finds that Yunwu's eyes are empty and stands still. Isn't it stupid? The Cloud dances back to God. He didn't answer Long Qingxia. Instead, he grabbed the medicine bottle he was about to take back. I'll take this medicine. Night. Long Qingxia. After taking the medicine bottle, Yunwu moved into space. Long Qingxia looked at Yunwu and suddenly changed his attention. He couldn't help thinking for a while, but he didn't ask much. Well, if you think the night is good, you can continue to enjoy it. Maybe we won't accompany you. In the meantime, Yunwu's heart moves. In a moment he takes back Xiaoqiu, Lanyu, Baixuyer, Shiting and Hongling. Let's go. Dragon Qing evil mouth hook, long arm around Cloud Dance waist, listen to you. As soon as the voice fell, Cloud Dance and Dragon turned around and gradually disappeared into the night. Haha, it's more and more interesting. With a strange smile, Night walks in the opposite direction. It was morning when I returned to the evil city, and the city was once again prosperous and bustling in the daytime. Cloud Dance sits on the wooden chair. One Night does not have the rest, Plus the battle consumes the physical strength. The coquettish Sun appears very tired. Dong dong. Who is it? Soften the soft hazy eyes. Cloud dance tone revealed low. Open the door, it's dragon. How is your injury? Yunwu takes a look at the dragon. Last night, it looked like he was seriously injured. Long Qingxia hooked his lips. I didn't hurt my muscles and bones. It's all right. But how is your injury? Last night, although Yunwu didn't seem to be a big deal, there were still several wounds. Although her water element has healing trauma, it has no effect on herself. Nothing serious, skin trauma. Cloud rubbed soft left shoulder. Dress already dyed black by blood. Here, I've brought you a dress. After changing it, I'll give you medicine. Long Qingxia took out a long skirt and handed it to Yunwu. The evil eyebrows revealed a little heartache. Cloud dance is not polite. Took the long skirt, with even began to untie the clothes on the body. Little thing, are you going to change your clothes in front of me? Are you afraid I can't control it? If I let you out, you'll really go out? Cloud dance slanted the head of looked at him one eye, rare pick eyebrow to ask away. She doesn't know about this man's personality. The more you don't let him see it, the more shameless he will be. This little thing is obviously challenging his endurance. Seeing that Yunwu was really taking off his clothes again, Long Qingxia finally consciously turned his back and walked towards the door. There's no way to get rid of you. Hurry up and call me when you change. Close the door again. Cloud Dance frowned tightly, forced to bear the pain, and took off his clothes. After taking off the clothes, Yunwu found that the inside clothes were also dyed red by blood, and the dried blood condensed into black scars. Is the claw of the desert poisonous? The toxicity is not strong, and the damage to Cloud Dance is not big. Who was that knight? Cloud Dance stares at the bloodstain on the clothes and frowns tightly. After thinking for a long time, Yunwu didn't figure out why. After putting on the long skirt with the fastest speed, Yunwu called out to the door. Come in. Creek changed. Well. Yunwu nodded lightly, poured a cup of tea and took a sip. Long Qingxia closed the door and blinked. So fast? Originally, I wanted to say help. This man likes to use his mouth. Is it good? Long Qingxia nodded, but his eyes were staring at Cloud Dancing's slender legs. Good looking. Good looking. Long Qingxia didn't feel guilty at all, and his eyes were staring at him. If you don't know this man, you will be regarded as a rascal by his appearance at this time. In the Dragon Clan, I made an appointment with Nangong-yi to meet him in the Evil City. Has he come yet? Yunwu is too lazy to pay attention to the eyes of Dragon Qingxia. Long Qingxia then took back his sight and said, he went to pray for the night. They went to transmit the array, and it was estimated that it would take some time to go back and forth. In fact, little thing, why wait for him? Let's go directly to the Phoenix clan, so as not to waste time. Anyway, when you come to the top of the desert, you need to find out where the entrance of the Phoenix tribe is. This man is careful. How can Cloud Dance not know? However, she even made an appointment with Nangong-yi. Naturally, there is no reason to leave without waiting for him. Long Qingxia had no choice but to turn a white eye, and did not continue the topic. The corner of his eye swept to the red medicine bottle on his paw. How do you plan to use this medicine? Keep it. It's always useful. Yunwu picked up the medicine bottle, and threw it into the Chaos Hall. In the Hall of Chaos, a mass of suspended black fog suddenly unfolded, and a dark mouth instantly swallowed the jade bottle. Give me a few days. There was no movement in the dark fog. Give me the medicine. Cloud Dance turns over a hand. A regiment of red grass of dripping blood is stuffed to Long Qingxia. Enjoin away. By the way, this herbal medicine should be chewed up before applying, don't forget. Long Qingxia. I can't help but pass by the helpless pet drowning. This little woman, the herb is so bitter that even the dragon can't help frowning. Chew them all up and wrap them in gauze. Looking at the scar on Yunwu's shoulder, the original smooth and tender skin was extremely terrible. The flesh and blood turned out, and the scarlet stimulated the dragon's evil senses. Is this skin trauma? Cloud Dance suddenly found behind him a strong sense of killing, and then turned into a gentle atmosphere. What's the matter? Cloud Dance turns head to ask away. It's nothing, but how can there be a phoenix mark on the shoulder? Dragon Qing evil pressure heart. Looking at her shoulder next to the red mark. Phoenix mark? Cloud Dance Alung subconsciously turned his head toward his shoulder to see. When you see the half-red mark like the birthmark, it suddenly flashed in your mind. It appeared after you used the fire of origin to hatch the little stink in the bottomless hole. Fire seal is like a phoenix bathing in fire, so it is called phoenix mark. In fact, Yunwu didn't find it at first. It's like hatching a little stink. Longqing evil smell speech, but fell into a burst of meditation. What's the matter? Is there anything wrong? Longqing Xie shook his head. It's okay. I just think it's pretty. Longqing Xie, who has always been evil, seems very gentle at the moment. His fingertips move gently to apply herbs to Yunwu. Have a good rest. We'll start in a few days and take good care of ourselves first. After taking the medicine, Longqing Xie suddenly said, because Nan Gongyi hasn't come back, and I don't know how long it will take him to go back and forth, so Yunwu nods. Take a few days off and have a rest. Dong Dong. Come in. Red Fire Dragon, Mengbai and Shengguan come in. However, when they saw the situation in the room, their faces changed strangely. Red Fire Dragon and Mengbai looked at each other, hesitated and blinked. The clothes are still there. We didn't come at the right time, did we? Cloud Dance smell speech. Forehead a black line straight down. These two are not human guy's head. What are thinking? Let's go. You're busy, haha. We've all come in and we're still grumbling. Shengguan, a wise man, couldn't see it anymore. He kicked Red Fire Dragon and Mengbai in. Bang, closed the door. Red Fire Dragon rarely looked at the cloud and said, we all know what happened last night. We'd better not contact that guy named Knight. Mengbai nodded in agreement with Red Fire Dragon. Shengguan also nodded. Yes, he gives people the feeling that something is not right. Cloud Dance thought for a moment. The man who calls himself Knight feels more evil than the dragon. Besides, he still doesn't know what his purpose is. It's really not suitable to contact him. However, at this time they are in the evil city, his territory. If he wants to contact with them, can they still hide? Be flexible. Cloud Dance Dan lips micromotion, spit out 4 words. Well, let's get something to eat. We haven't slept all night. We're sleepy and hungry. Cloud Dance gets up and goes out. Red Fire Dragon and Mengbai look at each other, shrug and follow up. Finally, Longqing Xie followed Shengguan. The party came to another tavern. The tavern is not big. The stone tables and chairs on display reveal the vicissitudes of life. Yunwu and other candidates take a corner seat. However, a table nearby soon attracted the attention of Yunwu. Did you hear that this morning, the caravan found a large number of corpses of desert beasts outside the city? Yes, I've heard that it's a tragedy. Within 100 miles, there are corpses, limbs and arms. Some desert animals have even been drained of blood. The cloud dances and hears the speech, the eyebrow suddenly a wrinkly. A corpse 100 miles around? What's the matter? Even if she let them out last night, she couldn't kill so much. What's more, she remembers that after the dragon poured out his evil hand, the desert beasts that had been surrounded by him retreated. How could another man in the armor of the city guard roared? What do you know? I am the city guard. I am ordered to investigate in the morning. Do you know what I know? Haha, big brother, you're kidding. The man who spoke said with a smile. The man snorted coldly and said, in the morning, we were ordered to investigate and found that these desert beasts were not killed, but burned, and even frozen to death. Some of them even had only bones left. That's a tragedy. I think there must have been some experts burning at the top of the desert last night, and then they met a group of desert beasts, and then they burned a lot of them. Poof dash, the red dragon couldn't hold back, and a mouthful of tea sprayed on Mengbai's depressed face. Mengbai's face turned black. You giggle, I'm sorry, I can't hold it. Red Dragon hands out his hand to wipe Mengbai's face apologetically. Mengbai dislikes clapping his hand and wiping it clean. However, speaking of these people, it's too much fun, one by one outrageous. Shengguan said with a smile. All right, let's eat. Dragon Qing evil mouth evil spirit slightly Yang Wei. Small 2. A bloated man ran over. Fat around his waist shaking with the man's pace. Very lovely. My guest, what would you like? Here is the recipe. The man's face was full of smiles, and he gave Yunwu a recipe made of animal skin. The more Yunwu looked down, his face became stiff. It seems that there is no normal dish in the soup. Cough, sophomore, do you have anything else? Yunwu gives the recipe back to Shower. My guest, are these the signature dishes of the small shop, Miss Yunwu? Little Tu's fat face was startled, and his eyes narrowed into a slit suddenly opened. In front of him, isn't this the big man on the top of the desert cloud dance? Do you know me? It's more than knowing, Miss Yunwu. Your reputation has spread all over the desert. Many people regard you as their goal of hard cultivation. Cloud dance. Cough, I know, don't make it public. Yunwu put a slender finger on his mouth, and Duzue made a quiet gesture. The shopkeeper nodded and said in a low voice, Miss Yunwu, it's a pleasure for you to come to the shop. I'll treat you to this meal. Wait, no. Before Yunwu had time to answer, the shopkeeper had already run away. Haha, let's have the whole animal feast today. Red Dragon grinned. For the red fire dragon, eating meat is of course the happiest. Maybe it's because of the cloud dance. The shop boy quickly put the dishes together and gave away a roast little desert beast, a whole one for free. The table is almost full. Xiao Wu, eat a leg of a beast. Your wound is not good. Mend it. Rudely, he took down a whole leg, and Shengguan handed it to Yunwu. Looking at the half-adult-sized leg in front of me, Yunwu swallowed his saliva. How do you want me to eat it? To be honest, she has no appetite for this desert beast. Simple. The red fire dragon was torn apart, and the Shengguan got close to it. He took out a big knife to cut off a piece of meat, and sent it to Yunwu. Have a try and see if it's delicious. In front of the hand size of barbecue, let Cloud dance some unable to mouth, open small mouth, and closed. Long Qingxia fixed his eyes to see that it was really big, and gently tore off a small mouthful of meat. I feed you. Ah, I can't bear it. Goosebumps are going up. The red fire dragon took a cold glance and turned his head to the side. Cloud dance helpless, but still obediently open mouth. I thought the meat should not taste good, but I didn't expect that the meat was crispy and delicious. Similar to chicken flavor, this meal looked disgusting. And then I found that it tasted really good. Seeing that Cloud dance had eaten, the red fire dragon and Meng Bai Shengguan were not polite, so they started to eat by themselves. After a while, a whole table of desert animal feast was swept away by red fire dragon and Meng Bai. I didn't expect that the taste of this desert beast was pretty good. If we had known that, we would have prepared a few to satisfy our craving occasionally. That's it. At this time, Long Qingxia stretched his waist and said lazily, Waiter, give me 10 dishes on this table. Cloud dance stunned. 10? Can you still eat it? What a stomach he has. I don't know how far it is to the Phoenix people, so I'm ready to eat on the road. Long Qingxia awakens everyone. Yes, their next target is the Phoenix. Although they are not sure where the Phoenix is, it is always good to prepare food. Anyway, there's storage space. If you throw food in, it won't break for a moment. Haha, you are considerate, but 10 may not be enough. Red fire dragon satisfied, patting belly to smile way. Dragon tilts evil spirit to pick eyebrow, glanced at red fire dragon. Oneself want to eat of oneself prepare. These but specially prepare for our family small thing. Red fire dragon. Little 2. Give me another 20. Red dragon mouth a smoke roar. Immediately a clap table, loud voice pull up, and then pointed to the wine jar on the ground. And wine, all to my uncle. Cloud dance looks at these two people, some helpless. When Long Qingxia and Red Fire Dragon are together, Yunwu hands a bag of magic core to Xiao Er, and tells him not to reveal the whereabouts of the people. The shopkeeper nodded happily and threatened not to disclose the information of Yunwu and others. Yunwu and others just left the hotel. Little thing, where shall we go next? Dragon Qingxia embraces Cloud Dance's thin waist and asks while walking. Let's have a look first and find out the location of the Phoenix clan. It's estimated that Nanganji will be back in a day or two. We'll leave then. In addition to waiting for Nanganji, Yunwoo also thinks that she is injured and can't get on the road. In case of an accident on the way, it will be extremely harmful to her, and even the whole team. However, it's strange that after a tour, several people didn't find out the location of the Phoenix clan. The position of the Phoenix clan should not be difficult to find out. At the beginning, Yunwoo also met the wine saint of the Phoenix clan. It shows that there are Phoenix people on the top of the desert. But after a circle, I didn't find out at all. It's strange. I didn't know about it all the time. I happened to visit a store, and Yunwoo and others came into the store by the way, intending to buy some pills and daily necessities. Because no one can predict what will happen on the way of the Phoenix. Be prepared. The night came and the sun faded. Back in the room, Yunwoo sat on the head of the bed with her knees crossed. When consciousness enters the chaos hall of mind, the black fog floats and rolls in the air. Hyo, have you found out anything? The black fog unfolded and turned into a hazy human shape. The faint voice came out. Cloud dance. I decomposed the jade bottle and learned that the composition of the medicine bottle does not belong to the top of the desert. I don't know exactly where it is, but I can be sure that it is not from the human world or the top of the desert. Not from the human world and the top of the desert? Could that be the upper bound? No. Something that does not belong to the land of man. Black Ao looked at Cloud Dance and continued. Also, taking medicine really has a very strange healing effect. After I swallow it, my strength is cured, but the medicine has a thick dark smell. The smell of darkness. Well, it's just like the dark breath in the magic grass when you used it to heal. Now you are awakened by the blood of the witches. Although the light and the dark are integrated with each other, you still have the power of evil bite in your body. If you use this medicine with thick dark breath, it is estimated that the power of evil bite in your body will be completely out of control and explode. Completely out of control? So serious? Cloud Dance embroiders eyebrow tight. See you. That night, exactly as who he takes medicine to her is intentional or unintentional. Cloud Dance eyes gradually stained with a trace of undercurrent, killing intention fleeting. If he must be hostile to her, she will not show mercy. People who can appear on the top of the desert are not good at it. No matter what, you should be careful yourself. Well, I see. By the way, Hyo, do you know where the Phoenix clan is? Yunwoo suddenly remembered. Since he had been to the top of the desert, he would know the position of the Phoenix family. Can Black Proud smell speech, but fell into silence for a long time. After half a ring, the purpose of the migration of the Phoenix clan is to hide their location. I owed a favor to the ancestors of the Phoenix clan at that time, so I should have promised. Hearing this, Yunwoo naturally understood what he meant. He promised that others would not disclose, so now she naturally does not force him. However, the Phoenix clan moved their clan in order not to let others know their whereabouts? Why? Obviously, this problem is unknown for the time being. Consciousness returns to the body. Cloud Dance meditates for a moment, can't figure it out, and finally it's not tangled. If Hyo doesn't say it, he can only ask from others. Stretched limbs for a while. Yunwoo lay on the bed and soon fell asleep. The next morning, the golden sun through the window tile cloud bed. Warm and comfortable, sleeping Karen in the sun appears peaceful and beautiful. It's hard to believe that such a beautiful woman is a real killer, reincarnation, killing without blinking an eye. Just then, there was a sudden knock at the door. Dong dong. Dong dong. Xiaowu. Open the door. Shangguan's loud voice rang out outside the door. Yunwoo had already woken up from his sleep when he made noise. Through the light curtain of the sun, Cloud Dance caresses slightly messy green silk, puts on clothes and opens the door. At the moment when the wooden door opened, a group headed by Red Fire Dragon rushed in. Hello. This is my room. Cloud Dance can't help frowning. In the early morning, a group of men burst into the room for no reason to disturb the dream. Yunwoo, there's a large group of mercenaries outside, shouting to see you, but they can't stop it. Red Fire Dragon said in a loud voice. A group of mercenaries out there? The Cloud dances slightly along. She remembers that her whereabouts are relatively low-key. How could immediately, Cloud Dance can't help but think of the shopkeeper. Originally thought that when Nangongyi arrived, he left in a low-key, But now he made such a noise. Red Fire Dragon and Mengbai look at each other. Do you want to go out and have a look? They threatened to break in if they didn't see you. The dragon leaned against the door lazy-like. Little thing, your fame is beyond our imagination. Yes, fame is a headache. Shengguan agreed. Cloud Dance is also a bit depressed. Now what? Shall I see you? Cloud Dance glanced at the window outside. It was already dawn, and the movement of the downstairs could be heard even from a distance. Go and have a look. In any case, the mercenary regiment was called by her. Although it was disbanded, many small groups of mercenary regiments had formed on the top of the desert. This has improved the existence of the vicious name on the top of the desert. Finishing clothes, Yunwu takes the lead to walk out. Out of the house, the dazzling sunshine stinging eyes hurt. Yunwu raised his arms slightly blocked. Miss Cloud Dance. Yunwu girl is out. The Mao Sun slowly opens. Immediately was startled by the scene in front of me. Thousands of people surrounded the tavern, waving weapons and shouting, including yesterday's tavern shopkeeper. The cry that shakes through the sky startles Yunwu. It took him a long time to recover. This is too exaggerated. These thousands of people, it is estimated that the whole city has come. Dead fat man. Little thing, don't you want to say something? Long Qingxia stands beside Yunwu and can't help picking the evil way of eyebrow. Of course, they have seen this situation for a long time. Taking a deep breath of the cold air, Yunwu calmed down slightly and said softly, "Everyone be quiet." The crowd, who were shouting enthusiastically, calmed down in a moment, looked up at Yunwu, waiting for her. Everyone, I thank you for your love for Yunwu. However, I hope you can still follow the rules of the city and go on your own. Don't gather here. In fact, even if Cloud Dance has been in this strange world for such a long time, it is still not used to such a situation. What flowery words she still can't learn. Don't worry, Miss Yunwu. We've got the permission of the Lord of the city when we gather here today. Yes, Yunwu girl doesn't have to worry about us. We just want to thank Yunwu girl for what she has done to the top of the desert. Yes, thank you, Miss Cloud Dance. If it wasn't for Miss Yunwu, we would be living in a muddle. Now there is a mercenary regiment on the top of the desert, so we don't have to live in a vagrant and plundering life. That's to say, those of us who haven't lived in the city for a long time have all joined the mercenary regiment, United Action. Miss Cloud Dance. There was another shout. Such a dynamic, completely unexpected Cloud Dance. At the beginning, she recruited mercenaries on the top of the desert. Actually, she wanted to help Red Fire Dragon fight against the dragon. Unexpectedly, she changed so much on the top of the desert. Little thing, I think you are really a good leader. Long Qingxia looks at the scene, and the evil spirit hooks his lips. Deep in the eye, it seems to flash a touch of doting. Cloud Dance. In fact, I think this guy is quite right. People on the top of the desert worship you so much. Or when they gather together to deal with the Beast Gate, they can come back and call these people to help destroy the Beast Gate. Mengbai said seriously. Red Fire Dragon smells speech, can't help but agree to nod. But Yunwu looks at Shengguan. Don't worry about me. Between you and Beast Gate, you know how I choose. Shengguan shrugged. Perhaps, the only thing he can't bear is his father. Wait till the time. Cloud Dance said. Let's go, my friends and I are about to leave the top of the desert. In the middle of the Cloud Dance, I suddenly feel a breath coming quickly. Looking up, I saw a black shadow flash in the air. In the blink of an eye, a man stood on the huge stone outside the house. It's you. Cloud Dance eyebrows slightly wrinkle. Red Fire Dragon and others' face slightly sink, have surrounded up. Miss Yunwu, why are you so anxious to leave without saying goodbye? The handsome man said with a smile that it was the mysterious man Knight. I'm sorry, my partner and I have something to do. It's inconvenient to stay. The Cloud dances quietly. For this night, Cloud Dance mood seems to be a little more vigilant. Since Miss Yunwu has something important, I can't detain her. Knight said with a smile. If you can use my place in the future, just come back. Our people on the top of the desert are your friends. I'm willing to go through fire and water for Yunwu girl, and I'll never give up. I don't know who it is. I took the lead in shouting, and the crowd exploded again. I'm willing to go through fire and water for Yunwu girl. And I'll never give up. I'm willing to go through fire and water for Yunwu girl, and I'll never give up. Orcs, dragons and various strange races wave their fists and weapons and promise one after another. Only where cloud dance is useful, the top of the desert mercenary corps, that even the dragon people were shocked at the beginning must come out again. I'll give you a present before you leave. The knight turns over the hand to present 2 wine bags. This wine I also leave not many, has the auxiliary effect to your injury. It seems that he knows the extent of her injury. Thank you. Don't bother. I'm in good condition. The tone of cloud dance is not slow. Even Black Pride can't see this person clearly. Without confirming whether the other party is an enemy or a friend, Yunwu chooses to keep a distance. We will take good care of your kindness, my woman. Long Qingxie reaches out his hand and embraces Yunwu in his arms. Knight, it seems that I am worried too much. With Brother Long by my side, I really don't need to worry about this outsider. The corner of the dragon's evil mouth rose, and he met him with a smile. No, you don't want it. I want it. It smells good. Red Fire Dragon jumped out and took the wine bag from the knight hand. Mengbai, give you a bag. Red Fire Dragon generous throw Mengbai a bag of wine. It's very fragrant. Mengbai sniffed close to his nose and sighed. As for the reaction of that knight, no one seems to care. But people with smart noses all know that this wine is a good thing. It's not for nothing. Little thing, we can't stay here any longer. It's almost time for us to get up. Long Qingxie came close to Yunwu's ear and whispered. Indeed, even if we have to wait for Nanganji, we can't stay here. Good. Cloud Dance nods lightly. However, just when a few people were ready to leave, all of a sudden, several people were attracted by the boiling crowd. Looking high, 2 orcs helped a bodyguard into the crowd. The 2 orcs were apparently wounded, and blood was dripping down the ground. The bodyguard's condition was more serious. His right leg was almost completely broken, leaving a layer of skin hanging, and the sand was stained red with blood. Seeing this, the crowd was boiling again. Isn't this the bodyguard who went out to the caravan yesterday? Isn't he going to the slaughterhouse? Yes. Why did you come back with a wound before this day? What about the others? What's the matter? Is Yun and Miss Yunwu here? The guard, supported by the orcs, almost tried to shout. Obviously, it's looking for Yunwu, and originally gathered around the people immediately give them a way out. The orc helped the half-dead bodyguard and came to Yunwu with difficulty. Save, save. The bodyguard, panting, tried to open his mouth, but it didn't seem complete. The orc who supported the guard said, Miss Cloud Dance, our caravan was attacked by a desert beast in the city of Slaughtering. The attack of a desert beast? Isn't there nearly 100 people in the caravan? Just a desert beast? Are you in such a mess? It's too weak. That's right. 1 or 2 desert beasts can be solved easily. When people around heard about it, there was a sudden uproar. Can Dragon Qing evil dance with Cloud, but seemed to feel a little bit wrong. Don't make any noise. You go on after seeing the dragon's evil spirit and Cloud dance, the orc continued. At first, our caravan didn't think so. However, unexpectedly, the desert beast was completely different from the previous desert beast. It was very big, really too big. Moreover, the corners of the desert beast's eyes were very white, very strange, and the strength was too strong. All our caravan people took action, but they still didn't do it. I can't beat it back, said the orc, with a sudden pause. Just when we were almost torn apart by the desert beast, we got the help of 3 partners of Yunwu girl, and then we escaped from the dead. But the orcs seemed to be frightened by something, and their words were trembling and vague. But what? This time, not only did Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxie frown, but also Shangguan Red Fire Dragon's face sank. 3 partners should not be Nanganji Situlan, pray for the night. That desert beast is too powerful. I'm afraid Yunwu girl's partner won't last long. What? Is the desert beast so powerful? I haven't heard of it before. The crowd is boiling again. However, Yunwu and others have already tacit understanding, body movement, volley quickly toward the outside of the city. Several figures left in this way, and the people who were in an uproar suddenly could not help but stop. But soon, a lot of people also went out of the city. Knight is not any action, but still standing in the same place, looking at the direction of a few people leaving Yunwu. Deep in the eye is the profound meaning. Maybe Cloud Dance is really special. Finally, Knight had the injured three arranged. As for what happened in the desert outside the city, he didn't seem to plan to see it. Outside the city is the endless desert. As soon as Yunwu and others leave the city, they feel a little anxious. There are endless deserts outside the city. They don't know where Nanganji are. Just as the red fire dragon was about to go back to the city and take a orc out to find his way. After that, many mercenaries rushed out. All of them wanted to follow Yunwu to rescue people. Miss Cloud Dance, the direction of the slaughterhouse is over there. Let's hurry up and we'll make it. Yes, Miss Yunwu doesn't have to worry. After one of the mercenaries pointed the way, Yunwu and others didn't waste their time. They picked up Yuanli and left quickly in the air. The following mercenaries, naturally, followed in a hurry. However, people expelled from the top of the desert seemed to be limited by the pressure in the air and unable to fly in the air. On the top of the desert in the daytime, the temperature is very high. Flying fast in the desert, the hot air came. But Yunwu and others are getting faster and faster. They have no intention of slowing down at all. Until half the time of incense. It was originally hot air, as if just gradually blowing a smell of blood. And some kind of fighting came from a distance. There ahead. As soon as the words of Cloud Dance fall, the elements of trend wind rush away in an instant. Dragon Qing Evil see this, that nature is also speed up, follow closely. Through the white beast eyes, this kind of situation he also is the first time to hear. Estimate is not easy to deal with the role. The flying speed of the red fire dragon is the fastest. Seeing that the speed of Cloud Dance and Dragon's evil spirits has been accelerated, he immediately clenched his teeth and turned into a dragon shape. Roar! Raise your head and roar! Meng Bai followed the officer, jumped up directly, grabbed one of the red fire dragon's paws, and accelerated forward with it. Roar! The roar of the beast filled the sky. In the hot desert lush, the sand was almost stained with blood red. A torn corpse fell in the desert, including the body of a camel carrying goods. This is a desert that is completely red with blood. And not far from this tragic situation, 3 figures are fighting with a half-dormant warcraft in the desert. Damn it, I didn't expect that this desert beast could become elite. It's too powerful. We're not rivals. If we catch the chance, we'll leave first. Situlan, who was always lazy, was so solemn for the first time that he didn't dare to relax his attack. Nangong under the white gauze is also very dignified. A red snake sort of prey knight, cold face also tightly frowned. 3 people with triangle attack mode almost did their best to balance the desert beast still dormant in the desert. Once one retreats, the 2 will not be rivals. But if 3 people retreat at the same time, the dormant desert beast will definitely attack one person and tear it directly. That's why the 3 never retreated. 3 people can't abandon who first escape because they are partners. However, when Yunwu and others rushed to see the form of the siege, they immediately seemed to understand why they had not withdrawn. Don't worry, little thing. Dragon Qingxia suddenly stopped Yunwu. Then came the red fire dragon and so on, also can immediately deadlock in midair. Isn't that Nangong? Why did they stop? Shangguan frowned. Yes, they don't seem to be able to support it. Let's help. Red fire dragon agrees. But before long Qingxia spoke, Meng Bai said, this time, I really can't be in a hurry. Even Meng Bai said so. Although Yunwu was anxious, she calmed down. What's the matter? If you're right, it's probably not a desert beast. Long Qingxia looks at Nangong who is still entangled in the distance. Not a desert beast? Yes, I don't think so. You see, the half-body of the warcraft is still dormant in the desert, only showing its upper body. I think its shape is much bigger than what we see. Meng Bai stares at the desert beast in the desert and says seriously. Yunwu and others frowned when they heard the words. Let's attack in the air. Anyway, We can't just do it here. Let's watch Nangong Yi. Yes, let me have a try first. Red fire dragon urgent temper, language falls at the moment, dragon body a twist, suddenly toward that south palace they but go. I'll go to. Shangguan also immediately left in the air. Cloud Dance see this and Dragon Qing Evil look at each other. No matter what firsthand, then act on the occasion. Dragon Qing Evil corner of the mouth a hook, eyes flashed a helpless pet drown. Go. Two figures turn into two radiants. Mengbai looks at the yellow sand in the desert with different colors below. He always has a feeling that something is wrong. However, seeing that Yunwu and they have all gone, he naturally follows them regardless of anything. Nanganji, Situlan, pray for the night, get out of the way. With the rapid arrival of several figures, a loud voice suddenly came from the desert. As soon as Yu Guang looked at the three people who were struggling to support him, he was very happy. Here they are. Fireball, Sword Chi, Knife Light. Almost at the same time towards the huge warcraft head. Bang dash, with a loud noise, the three figures retreated rapidly. Sandstorm everywhere. The sky was covered by sandstorm, a long yellow sand. Half a ring. When the yellow sand gradually falls, the Cloud Dance and others in the air suddenly frown. Gone. Originally that huge warcraft completely disappeared. Only a concave sand. Nangong Yi, Situlan pray for the night. Three people in just after dodge. Physical strength can't hold half kneel down. When they saw that there was no sign of warcraft, they were also surprised. Can that warcraft really escape? Situlan gasped for a while, and his tone couldn't help being surprised. Pray for the cold eyes of the night to sweep around, but still didn't see anything strange. Nangong Yi's eyes under the white gauze also immediately turned around. Under his third eye nothing could escape. But he didn't see it. In the endless desert, there is nothing but yellow sand. Is it gone? Or after a long time? The whole desert is still silent, quiet, terrible. Is that warcraft gone? Red Dragon in midair, finally can't help but say a word, broke the abnormal silence. At this time, Yunwu and others came down from midair. Nanganji, Situan and Kai's have a tacit understanding of Choyanwu and others. How are you? Cloud Dance eyes flashed a trace of concern to look at the three. Nangongyi shook his head. It's okay. It's just a little physical exertion. Just adjust your breath. But why are you here? Situlan was surprised to see everyone arrive. The caravan went back to report. Long Qingxia looked at Situlan. But you didn't mean to go back to mainland China. Why did you go back to the top of the desert? Don't mention it. Originally, I intended to go back to mainland China, but when the teleportation array returned, it collapsed and almost didn't get hanged by the barrier. When Situlan thought of the thrilling scene, he couldn't help feeling cold sweat. The teleport crash? What do you mean? Just the three of you. Are all her black teams already? Cloud brow tightening, straight to pray for the night. Pray night. Cold eyes with Cloud Dance looked at each other, slightly shook his head. There are too many people in the black team. There are too many transmissions back and forth. When it comes to us, there will be cracks in the transmission array. Nanganji explained. The teleportation array was originally the first masterpiece of Long Qingxia. It seems understandable that this kind of problem appears. Fortunately, people are okay. Now it's not a place to talk. Why don't we go back to the nearest evil city first? Mengbai looks at the Cloud Dance. Just now, the huge warcraft didn't know whether it was gone or where it was lurking. This place is really not a place to talk. However, at this time, Miss Cloud Dance, here we are. Here we are. A voice of momentum came from far away from near. After a while, I saw a lot of mercenaries coming from the direction where they just came from. Yunwu looked at the people who came, and the number was hundreds at least. It seems that those mercenaries who followed the cloud just in front of the gate of the evil city. To tell you the truth, seeing their arrival, Yunwu was moved. At least, as far as she knows, all the people on the top of the desert are evil men. But now they are not what they used to be, and what they do is her. It's absolutely false to say there's no feeling. I didn't expect that they were really coming. Yes, Red Fire Dragon and Mengbai also seem to have some accidents. Long Qingxia is a little proud, and what makes him proud is the woman around him. This woman always seems to have the kind of charm that people are willing to follow her. However, it is at this time. Say. Some kind of sound of sand surging, as if from a long distance. Be careful, it doesn't seem right. The cloud danced and his voice sank. Almost at that moment, several men of Long Qingxia subconsciously protect the two women Yunwu and Qiye in the middle. But the next second, boom, after the sound of the earthquake, the mercenaries, who had been flying towards the clouds, suddenly let out a scream, and the rolling yellow sand spread all over the sky at that moment. Yunwu's face suddenly changed. Damn it, help under the roar of the cloud dance. The wind element has been wrapped in the body, and the figure is rapidly moving towards the yellow sand of the miserable cry. Little thing. Long Qingxia's face sank, and he almost followed the cloud dance. Whoosh, whoosh. Other people's figure, also in response, at present immediately followed quickly. No one expected that this scene would happen so quickly. Moreover, I have no idea how it happened. Oh. The wind in the desert blows up the yellow sand all around. You can't see a piece of space clearly. It seems that you can only see the hazy yellow sand, which makes people blind. When Yunwu several people arrived, the scream had disappeared. The yellow sand, which had been blown up by a hurricane, gradually began to subside. In a moment, the wind stopped and the sand fell. However, the original hundreds of mercenaries, but completely disappeared, including the original body covered with blood sand, also disappeared. If not for the remains of some caravans and chariots, people would think that everything is an illusion. Yunwu stood in the same place, his eyes staring at the desert, but his fists clenched. Just now, she called out her name and said that hundreds of people would come to help her, but it was gone, which made Yunwu angry. What the hell is that? There's something wrong with this place. Let's leave first. Mengbai looked around. There were always some depressing feelings in his heart. Little thing, let's leave first. She'll listen. Coldly praying for the night, I suddenly raised my ears and listened carefully. Cloud Dance's eyes were a little more dignified in an instant, and Gu Wu's sword came out of the air in an instant. Boom. Boom. Slowly, a dull noise came into everyone's ears. Long Qingxia's evil face is also dignified, tightly protecting Yunwu's side. Be careful, everyone. Yunwu and Long Qingxi are closely linked. Little thing, you still have injuries. If you can't hold on, don't try to be brave. The dragon Qing evil behind him turns his head slightly, and instructs the way. Are you hurt? Nangongyi looks at the clouds, and there is an undercurrent under the white gauze. It's all right, little injury. Boom boom, the sound is louder and louder, more and more dreary, as if the earth is falling apart. This voice, the willow leaves are dancing in the clouds, and their eyebrows are suddenly wrinkled. Suddenly they feel a little bit bad. Suddenly his face suddenly changed. This voice is coming from the ground, under us. Be careful, boom dash, boom dash. After hearing the cloud dance reminder, people were just about to react. But under the sand dune, suddenly dozens of dark shadows burst out. The speed was so fast that even the cloud dance was startled. Everyone, including Yunwu, is the target of the shadow. They are smashed by the powerful force brought by the shadow. Poof, a figure across a radiant cloud fell to the ground. After rolling a few circles, spurted a mouthful of blood. Shoulder gradually emerged a touch of scarlet dyed red clothes. Little thing. A shadow of a man came down, and the dragon, leaning evil, faltered and stabilized himself, quickly picked up the cloud dance on the ground. How's it going? Long Qingxia holds Yunwu. When she sees her bloody shoulders, her eyebrows send out a strong sense of killing. Yunwu shook his head, indicating that he was okay. It's okay, it's just that the wound on his shoulder has split again. However, when a road figure was hit, fly, embarrassed, roll a circle. Cloud Dance suddenly felt a panic. What was the shadow just now? The speed, the strength. But for Qiyese to remind, maybe she can't react so quickly. And when Cloud Dance looks at those dark shadows, the pupil eye suddenly shrinks. I saw that the original shadow, as soon as it touched the yellow sand, suddenly turned into a huge desert beast. Those desert beasts are just transformed by the shadow. In other words, isn't that a real desert beast? But it's not a desert beast. What are those? At this time, dozens of strong desert beasts spread out in encirclement, and their scarlet eyes looked straight at the crowd. Cloud Dance, how are you? Nangongyi grabs his left arm and stumbles. The red blood drips down his arm. The white clothes on his arm are dyed bright red by the blood. Are you hurt? When Yunwu sees Nangongyi's left arm red with blood, his brow is suddenly wrinkled. The wounded wound was poisonous. The voice of Black Pride suddenly sounded in my mind. Toxic? After hearing this, Yunwu hardly thought about it. He stretched out his hand and directly lifted the clothes on Nangongyi's arm. Hiss dash, the scene immediately made Yunwu take a breath, and Nangongyi's whole arm was cut 3 wounds in the impact. Each wound is deep visible bone, seems to be claw scratch, blood DC. And the blood, it seems that there is a trace of black blood. It was that night that she was so poisoned by the desert beast. Hiss. Yunwu rips a piece of cloth from his body, takes out the antidote herb from the space, chews it twice in his mouth, and then applies it on Nangongyi's arm wound, wrapping it with a cloth strip. Cloud Dance of these actions. One side of the dragon are looking at evil. That pair of golden pupil has complex, but more is doting. It seems that this little woman doesn't understand men's heart. How could her action not provoke Peach Blossom? However, he still likes it very much, thank you. Although you can't see Nangongyi's face, there is a trace of warmth in the tone. Cloud Dance at this time, but not too many other thoughts. Soon, all the people gathered together, besieged the city in a circle, back to back, facing the huge desert beasts around them who had not attacked them for a long time. Are you hurt? Cloud Dance, vigilant looking around, low voice toward the companion after death, inquires away. A little skin rub is nothing. Situlan spoke. That is, how can these low-level desert beasts hurt me? Red Fire Dragon also has a rough voice. However, Yunwu turns the other hand and takes out a jade bottle from the space. These are not desert beasts at the top of the desert. What's inside are detoxification pills. If you are hurt by those things, the wound will be poisonous. Although the toxicity of the wounds is not strong, for them, in fact, not much impression for a moment. However, at this moment, a little influence may have killed them. Shangguan's several people smell speech, did not have any hesitation, after that, directly poured out one from the jade bottle, and threw it into the mouth. That kind of behavior is the greatest trust. But after half a sound, Yunwu's several people are still maintaining the situation just now. Something's wrong. These desert beasts haven't moved. They seem to be waiting for some kind of order. Calm Nangongyi analyzes, and his wise eyes sweep slowly. There is a trace of difference in the depth of his eyes. I found out too. It's not the way for us to go on like this. Or shall we break through first? Yes, I agree. If the stalemate goes on like this, the physical strength will lose too fast under the high temperature, which is really not the way. Then kill. Chi Knight is full of ferocity and evil spirit. At this time, Yunwu Yuguang glanced at her. Cloud Dance this just discovers. Chi Knight color on the face flows down a white bloodstain. Just the wound is not big, not easy to detect. Your face. The Cloud dances and frowns, and a touch of cold flashes across the eyes. You know how important a woman's face is to a woman. Hearing the words, Chi turned his head coldly, and looked at one of the desert beasts with cold eyes through his hair. I always have revenge. If I destroy my face, I will take out its intestines. Cloud Dance. It's cruel. Chi Knight, that cold voice. Let the presence of a few men are raised eyebrows. However, several men seem to have seen the bloody woman of Yunwu for a long time. They seem to be used to the ferocity of praying for the night. Then don't wait. The Cloud dances a corner of the mouth to hook. The eye ground is to kill the idea extremely cold. Good. Several people tacit understanding of a nod. And at the same time, several strong breath, almost at the same time. Ow dash at the same time. The desert beast also attacked. Everybody be careful. Ordered a Cloud figure of flash, rushed into the herd, waved a knife. Two desert beasts screamed and threw them into the air, splashing a piece of blood. At this time, however, the dragon's evil spirit was also in the dark. At the moment when the sword came out of his hand, the strange and fierce breath attacked fiercely. Red Fire Dragon, Meng Bai 2 into the original shape, an instant up and down tacit understanding straight to Shangguan several people, not to mention the figure into a road shadow hand ferocious. Once you break through, leave immediately. Yunwu gave a loud cry. The big sword in his hand cuts a gentle arc in the air. The huge on of the sword falls from the sky and blows several desert beasts into a pile of broken meat. Fast, accurate, and ruthless. Yunwu's attack did not drag the slightest mud and water, beautiful eyes flashing indifference and chill. However, the heart is more and more dignified panic. Because the desert beast on the ground, which had been blown to pieces, soon turned into black fog and penetrated into the desert. I didn't kill them. This can be seen by people with clear eyes. I believe they all know the dragon's evil, so they are so quick and fierce. Boom. The flames were everywhere, and two desert beasts were burned to black corpses. However, two desert beasts fell down, and immediately rushed to three desert beasts to encircle, while the bombed corpses turned into black fog, and went deep into the desert. Roar! The roar of the beast came from all around. Whoosh! At the bottom of the desert, dozens of dark shadows appeared again. When they came into contact with the desert lusts, they suddenly turned into a fierce and huge desert beast. Yunwu and others kill while they're at it, but they can't finish it. It's endless. Damn it. This is definitely not the way. At the moment when cloud dance takes time, my heart moves, and when my hand is brushed, several lights flash out. Master. Mama. Stop yelling and help out. Yunwu was so anxious for the first time. Since she came to this strange world, she felt so helpless for the first time. Yes, 5 figures immediately found a breakthrough point, fierce attack. Shit. All of a sudden, the red fire dragon roared in a thick voice, couldn't resist and flew out. As soon as Shiting's body flashed, the green vines immediately pulled it back. You are a dragon, how so weak? Shiting looks at the red fire dragon like disgust. You're weak, I'm a dragon. The red fire dragon spat out blood, and its deep eyes were dyed scarlet by the battle. Then do your best, said Shitung. Figure a flash, continue, just break through. Damn, I want these bugs to look good. The red dragon swore in a low voice, raised his head and roared. The fireball in his mouth was more and more ferocious, and his housekeeping skills came out. It's just that these desert beasts are really weird. It seems that they can't be killed or finished. Even if they fly in the air, they can also fly in the air to stay and attack. Little thing, don't push too hard. Be careful of the wound. Long Qingxia is guarding Yunwu. A touch of red on her left shoulder deeply stimulates Long Qingxia's golden eyes. It seems that these desert beasts will change with our strength. What the hell are these things? It seems that there are more and more. Let's not attack separately. Let's focus on one point and break through first. Pray for the night. Yes, the original dozens of desert animals, but now it seems that the number is about to break 100. If it goes on like this, let alone break through the encirclement, I'm afraid that they will be consumed in this way. Focus on one point and rush out. Yunwu also drank, forced to endure the pain of his left shoulder, waved a big knife to kill the enemy, and spattered blood fog. Gradually, Yunwu's face became more and more pale, and the blood completely dyed his left shoulder red. Your wound is split. Seeing this, the dragon quickly stood in front of Yunwu, pinching the heads of the two desert beasts. Nothing. Yunwu gritted his teeth, regardless of his left shoulder soaked in blood, and flapped a desert beast with a knife. Dragon Qing, evil look in the eye, pain in the heart. Yunwu's character, Long Qingxia, can't be understood anymore. If you want Yunwu to admit defeat and shrink back, you can ignore her partner's life and death, unless she dies. This little thing is really audacious. Roar. One desert beast died and more desert beasts rushed in. The cloud wields the ancient martial arts sword, and the cold and murderous chi are concurrent, and the momentum is soaring. The desert beasts who are trying to take their lives are being ripped one after another. The smell of blood filled the whole sky, But the bloody bodies on the ground quickly turned into black fog and disappeared. Then he turned into a fierce and huge desert beast and continued to attack. This cycle is endless. No, I can't break through. Whoosh whoosh. Taking advantage of the neutral gear, Shangguan and others quickly breathed. Their forehead was full of sweat, and their clothes were tightly attached to their skin. Yes, it's not the way to go on like this. No matter how fast we kill, those things seem to die and come back to life more and more quickly. Evil, what can you do? If it goes on like this, I'm afraid it won't be long before we run out of energy. Situlan asked in a loud voice. Originally, he, Nanganji and praying for the night all consumed a lot of physical strength. Now at one stop he not only consumed a lot of physical strength, but also put a lot of money on his body. Shangguan split the desert beast and wiped his sweat. Yes, Long Qingxia, you didn't always pay much attention. What should you do now? If it goes on like this, we'll have to account for it here. Long Qingxia frowned. No way. Although he may be able to try the transmission array, it takes time and place to develop it. At this time, let alone time, it is impossible to develop it in this desert. How can we not understand the cloud dance and the speech? Hayo, do you know what these things are? Hayo has been to the top of the desert before, he may know. I don't know. I didn't encounter these things when I came to the top of the desert. However, I just went to check the records. Half of such strange things must be controlled by something. As long as you can find out what is controlled is gone, these estimates will disappear. Control? At the beginning, Yunwu people had already thought that these things were controlled by what, but how to find them in the long desert? Where do you think it will be? Underground. This sentence, Black AO very affirmative answer. Get the answer, Cloud Dance heart a cold. Well, it's under the ground, right? Then she'll see what the hell is that makes them so embarrassed one by one. Shangguan Nanganji, hold on first. I'll go down to the ground and have a look. After cutting off a desert beast, Yunwu immediately said something to his partner. And at the moment of language falling, a yellow earth element suddenly rises from her body. Soil element. Although cloud dance was used at the beginning, it was rarely used for earth elements. However, at this time, she wants to try how effective this earth element can be. What? Underground? Nangong Yi and others can't help but be stunned. Isn't that a joke? But the dragon poured evil smell speech, but in that golden eye flickered a touch of splendor. This little thing doesn't want to boom dash. The yellow light suddenly shrouded Yunwu, while the yellow sand under her feet seemed to sink in an instant. In the twinkling of an eye, you can see the figure of Cloud Dance falling into the yellow sand, but the speed is not fast. Little thing. Weifu tells you one thing. Among the 7 elements, the earth element is the most difficult to control. However, if you can understand the real power of the earth element, it is also the most powerful. However, as soon as the dragon's evil words fell, the cloud dancing figure had disappeared under the sand. The real power of earth? Cloud Dance heard the words of Dragon Qingxia, but she couldn't understand it. Into the ground, although there are earth elements wrapped, but still can feel the pressure from all directions that toward her. What I saw in front of my eyes was also dark. This situation is very unsafe. Hayo, I can't see around. Can you feel it? Your soil element is far less than other elements, and you can't grasp it well. That's why this is the case. Yunwu knows this, but now is not the time to say it. Is there any way? It's so dark that you can't see anything, let alone find the thing that controls the desert beast. I'm afraid it's a question whether you can get close to it. Cover the ground with earth elements. As long as you cover the ground with earth elements, you can see the freedom to follow. Soil element cover? Cloud Dance along, but also did not hesitate. Mind move, efforts to absorb some spiritual power from the Chaos Temple, immediately move up the elixir field, mobilize the earth elements, efforts to infiltrate around the great pressure. To tell you the truth, this process is really a bit hard. Physical exertion is increasing. In the Hall of Chaos, Hayo feels the change of Cloud Dance and frowns under the black fog. Finally, I sighed. Hand a brush. A dark breath along the just cloud absorption of the Hall of Chaos aura meridians suddenly poured into the cloud of elixir. Hayo, Yu Yuanli suddenly gushes out of dantian. The original feeling of hard work disappears in an instant, and the whole body's physical strength and Yuanli seem to have recovered to their peak. This spiritual power is absorbed from the medicine power in the red bottle. I have absorbed the dark power and converted it into pure spiritual power, which is good for you to recover your physical strength. If you give me the spiritual power, then you have life to leave here alive. In fact, the Yuan force was given to Yunwu, and his original power of recovery came back to before. But it seems that I don't know why. After getting along with this girl for a long time, he has become different from before. Smell speech, cloud dance, heart move. But there is no affectation. Immediately more quickly will be filled with soil elements around. Not for a moment. Light yellow light of earth elements has been like gold light sprinkled in the end of this piece. The darkness in front of us was replaced by the light of pale gold. At this time, there was a vast space around us. In the range of earth elements, the pressure was gradually dispersed. Is that within this range? Yes. It's far in front of you. Ahead? Because under the ground, and under the cover of the earth elements, there is an incomparable silence, a kind of frightening silence. The cloud danced the vision to sweep an eye. In front of that boundless, the space under the light of pale gold. In the hand of the ancient martial arts sword in an instant, black fire diffused in the sharp blade. Step without any hesitation, immediately fast forward. She can't wait. This earth element diffuses and envelopes the space, which consumes her physical strength too much. The longer the time, the greater her physical strength consumption. What's more, there are dragons on the ground. In the distance, on the sand dune, with moonlight on his back, a straight figure with hands on his back was staring closely. Like a woman's delicate skin, beautiful face, the corner of her mouth curved. Unexpectedly, she knows how to control the phantom underground, but it's really more and more interesting. Dragon Qingxia several people, still in the cycle of killing. Under the ground. Although it is surrounded by earth elements, creating a space, it is still underground. Wrapped in thick lightless elements, the cloud dances forward with great momentum, feeling a burst of flexibility and pain on the face. With the acceleration of speed and the support of earth elements, Yunwu's physical strength gradually became unbearable. How far is it? Black Pride is silent. Only half a sound did I hear his deep voice. It seems that it's intended to hide its own breath. I lost it. Can you hide your breath? Can you find it again? Don't worry, give me some time. Cloud dance. Then hurry up. I'm afraid the longer the delay, the worse it will be for us. Under the control of Hayo, the black fog in Yunwu spreads rapidly along the long yellow sand of the surrounding space. Hayo plans to use Huangsha as the medium, and the power of darkness penetrates Huangsha to find the target. The strength of darkness is cold and overcast, and the yellow sand deep in the earth is unexpectedly cold and overcast. In the dark, Cloud Dance shivered. I found it. Where is it? Behind you. The Cloud Dance stopped suddenly. Behind? But the Cloud Dance didn't have any hesitation. The cold light of the eye flashed, and the figure turned around. Yuanli burst out. The force of abundant soil elements is like a volcanic eruption, and the turbulent momentum stirred the yellow sand under the ground to form a huge vortex. Shusha. Some kind of grinding sound. See, the Cloud Dance attacks strength. Unexpectedly by that around yellow sand dissolve. Be careful. Black AO surprised voice just shout out. A strange shadow has hit toward Cloud Dance fatal position. Cloud Dance reaction at the moment, the foot of a move, speed away. Hiss. But under the shadow, the clothes were cut with blood. It uses earth elements. Get out of here. As soon as Hayo's urging words fall, the cloud dancing ancient martial arts sword splits across the sky, and the earth element turns into a drill in an instant and rushes out straight to the ground. Bang dash. A soft figure bursts out from the center of the yellow sand vortex. Bang. Another explosion on the ground. Another figure, also immediately from the ground out. Boom. The light flashed, and two figures collided violently in the air, rolling up a hurricane. Then the two figures fell on the two opposite dunes. The Cloud Dance stands upright, and a touch of red blood oozes from the corner of the mouth, and drops on the yellow sand, slowly permeating and disappearing. How strong! This person is very strong above her. This is Yunwoo's first reaction. At the moment when she rushes out of the ground, her intuition tells her that a breath is coming to her. Therefore, with the encouragement of Yuanli in her body, Guwu's sword and black flame are slashing fiercely. In such a fierce attack, the other side can handle it freely and hurt himself with dark force. Yunwoo can't help but be surprised. This is the man who controlled the transformation of the shadow into a desert beast? Who is he? Cloud Dance in the heart mentions 12 points vigilance. Who are you? On the sand dune not far away, a light yellow light covered a figure. The man was carrying his hands, and his face was completely covered by his sand yellow robe. He could only see a bright red lip. In the Cloud Dance that asked after half a ring, a voice like sand just very slowly came. I am me, you don't know me. Cloud Dance. This is nonsense. Said also equal to did not say. However, no matter who he is, if he wants to relieve the crisis of encircling the dragon, he has to kill him. The Cloud dances coldly, the eyes are slightly narrowed, and the cold is like a sharp knife stabbing at the past. The desert beasts that besieged us are controlled by you? No, no. Cloud Dance eyebrows twist up. However, the man added, it's just a part of me. I want to besiege you. Part of his body. What do you mean? However, what he meant in his words is not the same as his manipulation. In a word, Yunwoo's killing intention broke out again, right? It seems that I can only end up killing you. The Cloud dances coldly, and the momentum bursts into the sky, and the ancient Wu broadsword is smashed with fierce momentum. The man doesn't seem to be in a hurry, just like the delicate and ruddy corners of a woman's mouth, and the whole body is full of the strangeness of no life. Bang dash the green silk flies, and the ancient Wuda sword in Cloud Dance's hand bombards the sand dunes into sand pits. But what about people? Yunwoo put away the sword. The whole bunker was empty, just got the figure disappeared. Did he use earth elements to escape? You are strong, but not as good as me. A frosty voice came from above. Looking up, I saw the figure flying in mid-air. Yunwoo frowned. With the blow just now, she played at least 80% of her strength, but the man easily escaped. This man is not only powerful but also very fast. Yunwoo, this man is a bit strange. He has no breath of life on him, and he is very strong. Even if I make a move, I can't be sure of winning. Don't fight hard. Try to deal with him. I'll win by sneaking attack at the right time. Sneak attack? Although he said that he was imprisoned in Chaos Palace, he was always arrogant. When did he use the word sneak attack? But Yunwoo knows that if he can say this word, it means that the whole opponent she is facing is powerful. Good, but move fast. I'm afraid that the physical strength of the people in Nanganji is too much, and the desert beasts are too strange to kill. It's not good for them. Be careful. Yunwoo suddenly noticed a surge of momentum, quickly returned to his mind, raised his ancient sword to resist the attack. Boom dash, the yellow sand splashes and Yunwoo's arms sink, and the huge impact plunges Yunwoo's legs into the yellow sand. And the next second, but the figure of the man turned around and stood on the edge of the bunker with his hands on his back, with a strange smile on the corner of his mouth. If you don't pay attention when you fight, it will soon kill you. Are you worried about your companions? Cough, there is a touch of blood flowing from the corner of the mouth, and the throat is sweet, but Yunwoo tries to swallow the blood. It's none of your business. Cloud Dance coldly glanced at the man. A trace of worry flashed in the depth of the cold eyes. The strength of this man is too strong. Why not attack directly? Is it a delay? No matter. Since he doesn't do it, she will. I don't want to talk nonsense with you. In a word, will you let the desert beast retreat? When talking, the Cloud dances coldly, the eye sun straight to hook to stare at the human figure. In the hand Guwoo big knife also tight. The man is still the same, the blood-like lips slightly hook. Want to stop, unless you can hurt me. Seeing the banter smile on the corner of the man's mouth, Yunwoo's anger gradually rises. Well, since you like to play, I'll play with you. Low voice cold extrusion. Cloud dance single hand knife. Figure has turned into a shadow, where sands slowly. Good. With a strange hook on his lips and a turn of his hand, the yellow sand on the ground suddenly becomes a yellow sword, waiting for the clouds to dance. Ding dash, a clear and leisurely sound. Strong shock. The strength of the road through the ancient martial arts sword shock. Yunwu felt numb in the moment, and the body glided back more than 10 meters to stabilize the body. The man, however, seemed not to be affected at all. However, there seems to be some changes in my breath. It seems that I underestimate you. I'm really curious about the strange energy in my body. The man walks to the cloud dance. The corners of his mouth are less banter and more weird. You can see through it. However, those who know my secret are always going to see Yama. The shadow was stunned, as if digesting the meaning of her words. Half a ring. Haha, right. Interesting, there's more to come. Cloud Dance Forest ran a smile. Although the strength is inferior to the person, the momentum still has to do enough. Hio, it's not good to drag on like this. He didn't give me any chance to sneak attack. However, I feel that the man is coming for you. Although I don't know what his purpose is, I can feel that he didn't want to kill you. To her? But did not move to kill the idea. Why so bitter entanglement? Cloud Dance is silent. Yunwu, you are too passive now. Maybe there is a little hope for you to turn attack into defense. Good. Cloud Dance nodded. Momentum convergence. Hey, you just said that if you hurt yourself, you can stop. Does that count? The man slightly along immediately way. B. Well, I hope you keep your word. Otherwise, even if you fall, I will make you die. The momentum of Cloud Dance is gradually rising. If the Cloud Dance was in an explosive period before, now it is completely in a calm and indifferent state. The man didn't say anything more, just waiting for Yunwu's attack. Cloud Dance at this time, but not in a hurry to attack. Instead, his mind empties and rearranges the tactics of his attack. However, after thinking about it, she seemed to find that he had no special tricks at all. Every move seemed to be to oppress her. The opponent with no tricks. What terrible opponent is that? Even if Cloud Dance has the assassin's skill, it has never met an opponent who doesn't even have any tricks. That kind of opponent is just like a newborn. You don't know what he's going to do next. Damn it. On the other side, the dragon's evil spirits were more and more exhausted. It's not the way to go on like this. Yes, these things can't be destroyed. Mengbai, you dig a hole and take Nangongyi to leave first. After tearing apart a desert beast, the red fire dragon suddenly yelled in a thick voice. Among the people present, Nangongyi's arm was the most seriously injured. Nangongyi has no choice but to smile, but the sword in his hand still attacks without showing weakness. Don't look at me too weak, I'm okay. Pray Knight that cold face, but rarely rise a trace of displeasure. Let you leave first, waste what words? I think you don't want to talk about him. I'm afraid we can't do without him underground. You see, those things seem to be reborn from underground, and I don't know what happened to Xiaowu. As he spoke, Shangguan split a desert beast. But Shangguan's words made several people on the scene more ruthless. Obviously, they are worried about the safety of Yunwu. Don't talk nonsense. She's okay. Take care of herself first. Long Qingxia took a look at the vast desert in the distance. I can't kill these ghosts. If my fireball can explode, I won't kill them. Red Fire Dragon cursed angrily. However, his words, but let Nangongyi alone. By the way, how could he forget? Hand over. A few small iron balls suddenly appeared in his palm. One radian. Boom boom. All of a sudden, bursts of explosion. Time in the desert set off. In the distance, Yunwu, who has failed in many attacks, was stunned when he heard the explosion. What's going on? Why does she seem to hear the explosion of a grenade? Nangongyi. After hearing the news, Yunwu could not help but raise his mouth. It seems that they should be okay for the time being. However, her fight cannot be delayed any longer. When the man in yellow robe heard the bombing, his body was obviously shocked, as if he had been affected by something. Cloud Dance's sharp-eyed discovery is that the cold light in the fundus of the eye flashes. The elements of the wind wrap around the body in an instant, and when the ancient martial arts sword is put away, a sharp knife comes out, and the body shape has already flashed away. Whoosh! The edge is across the air. Hiss! the tearing sound of clothes being cut, and the yellow figure just disappeared. In the second of the cloud attack, his figure disappeared in the air, not fast, but completely disappeared. Space elements? No, there isn't any space element in the air. He doesn't use space element. How did it disappear? The cloud dances the pupil mouth to shrink a little. Watch your step. Whoosh. A sand friction accompanied by the sword swish sound. Powerful force, straight from the foot of Cloud Dance to attack. Cloud Dance, even if the reaction is very fast, jump up in the air, but a blood gap is still hard to cut her left leg, blood along the heel, drop by drop on the yellow sand. However, at that moment, Yunwoo could see clearly how the figure just appeared. It's yellow sand. His body was made of yellow sand. What's going on? He's not flesh and blood, but yellow sand? No wonder you can't feel the breath of life from him. It turns out that he is the yellow sand in this desert. Black proud tone with incomparable consternation. Yunwoo was also surprised. However, seeing this scene, she suddenly seemed to understand something. Earth element, earth. No wonder, Long Qingxia would tell her that among the 7 elements, the earth element is actually the most powerful one. Because the earth is the foundation of all things, whether it is the place where all things depend or between heaven and earth. If you want to deal with him, you don't need to break your head. She has enough conditions, doesn't she? However, she is now too much physical exertion. Hyo, give me some of the spirit power of Chaos Hall. Because she needs some time to absorb, and now what she lacks most is time. Good. In the Palace of Chaos, when Hyo heard Yunwoo's words, she immediately understood what she was going to do. Because he is imprisoned in the Chaos Palace, if he wants to force the output of spiritual power in the Chaos Palace, he needs to be suppressed by some involvement. However, at this time, the Black Pride did not hesitate. A mass of black fog suddenly surged out of his body, like a fishing net, and immediately gathered to the aura in the first layer of life. When the oppressive force attacked him, the black fog forced the condensed aura to flow down the meridians of Cloud Dance. Under the heavy pressure of Chaos Hall, Hyo's body was shocked and his brow was wrinkled. He couldn't help humming. Are you okay? Feel Chaos Palace situation. Cloud Dance and bear that forced into the aura pain, not from worry asked A. Let Black Ao forcibly pour out the spirit of Chaos Hall. It is estimated that he will also be a little involved. But now she really has no time, it's okay. Just keep busy. Be careful. Well, Cloud Dance is no longer distracted, will be forced into the spiritual power, quickly into the Dantian, into their own Yuan Li. The yellow earth element, at the moment of Yuan Li's agglutination, spreads around at a high speed. At the same time, a blue wind element is also wrapped up in an instant. Looking at this scene, the scarlet mouth of the man in yellow robe raised slightly. Think that the elements of earth and wind can hurt me? This time, there was a trace of disdain in his tone. I don't feel much about Cloud Dance. Earth Shield. Wind net. At the moment when Yunwoo was cheering, the yellow and blue light in his hands suddenly spread around. Oh! All of a sudden, in the originally calm and hot desert, a hurricane suddenly blew up, whistling. Boom! On the ground, a strange vibration came, just like an earthquake. At this time, the brow of the man in the yellow robe seemed to be gradually wrinkled. He lowered his head and looked at the shaking earth under his feet. What does she want to do? Get up. The clouds are dancing in the air, and the cold light in her eyes is flashing sharp. With a shout, the whole yellow earth element suddenly comes out of her body, like a big wave. Boom! The ground changed from trembling to shaking. And at this moment, the original vast desert, suddenly in a circular situation, yellow sand began to rise from the ground, rising, forming a yellow wall. At the foot of the yellow sand, but also under the shock of condensation into a solid. Oh! The hurricane hovered over the high wall. Up and down form a cylindrical prison pattern. While Yunwoo stood in midair, looking at the man in yellow robe coldly. You are transformed by the yellow sand of earth elements. I'll see how you can hide now. At the moment, the figure of Cloud Dance has disappeared from the air. The body of the man in the yellow robe suddenly tenses. At this time, his face under the yellow robe is finally slightly raised. I saw that under the robe, there was a pale facial features, as petrified as the general existence, but the more bizarre village held out his scarlet lips, abnormal strange breath. No. The strange eyes of the yellow-robed man swept all around, but there was no trace of cloud dance. Sure enough, it has some strength. Whoosh! A small sound of cutting through the air came from behind the man in the yellow robe. The dagger condensed with wind elements is full of endless cold. Here it is the frosted voice of the yellow-robed man sounded. However, in the moment of the dagger attack, his figure suddenly twisted in a short time, and then disappeared. Shadow? Just now he was a remnant? The cloud dances in obviously a lung, but in the heart is a tight. In this case she was shocked by the speed of the enemy. But today for the first time, she was shocked by such a person who didn't know what the devil was. Under the cover of her earth element, he can still avoid it. What strength has he achieved? Silly lung will die. The frosted voice. And in the cloud behind the ring. Cloud dance eyes a cold subconscious turn. Guwu big knife also at that moment ling out. Swift and violent horizontal split to go. The yellow long sword and the ancient martial arts broadsword are facing each other in an instant. Chong. The sound of sharp tools. Yunwu's face was a little heavy, because she felt an incredible power from his sword. That's not the effect of his strength, but by the way, it's the suppression of elements. Compaction of soil elements. His earth element is better than hers. Damn it. Resist a sword, confrontation to a peak, abruptly separated. At the moment of separation, a strong force of suppression fluctuated and spread from the sword to sword. Yunwu was forced back several steps. The yellow-robed man was also forced to take a step. This time, there seemed to be a slight expression on his petrified and expressionless face, but Cloud Dance couldn't tell exactly what the emotion was. You are the second one who can push me back. Frosting sound, very gentle sound. Cloud Dance stands not far away, the tiger mouth of the palm is numb. That is just the result of the strength shock. She almost tried her best to push him back. I believe it is very clear what this means. You're the first person, I can't even touch the corner. The cloud dances in the cold. But at the end of her speech, her hand moved, and the ancient sword disappeared. So in order to finish as soon as possible, I'm going to try this one. The palm of her hand turned upward, Cloud Dance's mental strength gathered, and a very light black light gradually appeared from her palm. And at that moment, the atmosphere in the surrounding air obviously changed. The smell of darkness. The power of evil bite. In fact, because this force is obviously not easy to control, and there is still a crisis that she cannot predict, so even against Shangguanzhong she is useless. Today, she also tried to control only a little agglutination. The power of darkness? The yellow-robed man's face seemed to have changed a lot when he saw the power of evil bite. It seems that I have some scruples about the power of evil bite. Go Cloud Dance but hand a brush, see that the black light turns into a black arrow. With the power of lightning, straight attack that yellow-robed man. At this moment, it seems that the man in yellow robe is no longer calm. But the body movement, instant into yellow sand directly into the wall. It seems that Yunwu didn't expect that he should escape like this. Somewhere above, suddenly a distorted wave of space. Dark fog spread out soon, you see a figure from the sky out of thin air. The figure stood in mid-air, watching the situation in the prison of the cylinder solidified by the earth element and the wind element. There was a mysterious radiance on the white face below. Yunwu wring her eyebrows because the yellow-robed man was missing. Hyo, can you feel where he is? I'm really depressed. What kind of man is that man? Your earth element covers this area. He is covered by your earth element. However, his earth element seems to be much stronger than you. I can't feel it. Because of this, Cloud Dance is depressed. That man, if it's okay to kill her, at least he will take the initiative to show up. But now if he hides, how can she find him? But if the earth element is removed, it will be more troublesome for him to run away. Is there no other way? The earth element and the wind element are useless to him. Why don't you try the water element? Water element? Cloud Dance cannot help a lung, but very quickly, but the fundus flashed a touch of brilliance. He is the earth element. She may be able to imprison him with the earth element, but if she wants to hurt him or find him, it's obviously not good enough. Maybe you can try water. However, now that she wants to keep the earth element following the wind element, and add water element to support the three elements at the same time, I'm afraid by the way, the key to the power of water. As soon as his mind fell, the cloud danced and his mind moved. A silver pendant was already in his hand. It seems that she hasn't used what she got from the fat man Jiao last time. Even the Beast Gate and Thunderbolt Gate are looking for. Then try this one. The spirit of cloud dance permeates in. Wow, a stream of water vapor filled with the ocean suddenly gushed out. At this time, it seems that no one needs to teach you how to use it. Yunwu has subconsciously taken its own spiritual power as the master, leading to the power of water in the pendant. Hua hua. Bursts of waves, like the beating sound of huge waves, came from afar, and the strong pressure full of water vapor gradually enveloped the whole space. Incarnation hidden in a certain earth element wall of something. In the sense of the strong force of water, a panic spread. You can't use it. The frosted voice roared out from somewhere. But the power of water dancing in the clouds, under the guidance of her spiritual power, suddenly poured into the cylinder. Stop it at the same time. A sudden sound came from mid-air. When Yunwu heard the sound, he almost subconsciously took back the pressure of water and turned it into raw water. Hua hua. The sound of waves. In mid-air, the figure of the black robe was not hidden. With a flash of black light, a man in black robe stood in front of Yunwu. Under the black robe, there was a smile on her face as pink as a woman. This man is no other than Knight, the leader of 10 cities. He seemed relieved when he saw that the water below was the raw water that had eliminated the power of water. Do you have anything to explain about this? When seeing the appearance of the Knight, Yunwu guessed something in her heart. It seems that everything today is inseparable from the man in front of us. It's just why? Did he sacrifice so many lives just to play with her? Or do you want to stop them from leaving? Whatever the reason, this fact is making Yunwu unhappy. In particular, several of them were injured in this battle. After a while, Dragon Qing Evil and Red Fire Dragon and others are flying from a distance. Little thing. Are you all right? Are you all right? Master. A voice of concern came, but when I saw the Knight figure, a person's face was not very good looking. What are you doing again? I'm really sorry, Miss Cloud Dance. This has surprised you. Knight even slightly toward Cloud Dance and others bowed, full of apology. This scene let Cloud Dance a few people all one lung. According to his strange personality, how could he suddenly apologize like this? However, Yunwu still looked at him coldly and said, Knight Master, I hope you can give me a reasonable explanation. Knight, after this apology, his face again hung a pair of mysterious smile, looked directly at the cloud. Sorry, this matter does give you trouble, but this is also a gift I give you. Gifts. What's the name of this fight that makes all of them hang up? Cloud Dance suddenly gloomy face, fierce murderous straight into the sky. If this is your explanation, I think we have nothing to talk about. The Knight winked, pretending to be innocent and said, Miss Yunwu, I think you misunderstood. Misunderstanding? It's ridiculous. Cloud Dance pointed to the huge pool position. This is your misunderstanding? Or a gift in your mouth? Knight then suddenly silent. Yunwu was really angry, and his anger rose from the bottom of his heart. But at this time, Yunwu suddenly felt a hand on her shoulder. Long Qingxia pulls Yunwu to his back, and there is a flash of killing intention in the evil spirit's golden eyes. I don't care who you are and what your purpose is, but the people who hurt her are always dead. Boom! The momentum of Dragon's betrayal of evil has increased sharply, the intention of killing has been rolled up, and the huge pressure has spread in an instant. At the foot of the sand dunes loose, the sand dunes in the area where Longqingxi is located sink a few meters, forming a sand pit with a diameter of tens of meters. Shangguan and others, including several contract beasts, were also killed in an instant. These people have expended so much physical strength that they can still have this momentum. It's kind of surprising. Knight can't help picking eyebrows. Well, It seems that you are not interested in humor. In that case, it's not too good for me. I'd like to give you my gift. I hope you can get rid of your dissatisfaction. As soon as the words were finished, Night suddenly raised its hand, aiming at the pool, where the cloud danced with earth elements and wind elements. A strange suction suddenly came out of his palm, while a certain figure broke through the water. In the twinkling of an eye, I saw the figure of the man in yellow robe just now, flying towards the hand of Night, without any resistance. This scene let Cloud Dance suddenly startled. This Night seems more terrifying than that man in yellow robe. Miss Cloud Dance, this is my gift for you. I hope you like it. What? Send a man to Yunwu? Long Qingxia's face sank in an instant. Shangguan's face was also unnatural. However, before Long Qingxia made the next move, the yellow-robed man turned into a yellow light when he was pushed to the cloud dance. Under the yellow light, a thick smell of soil elements came. When the cloud danced slowly, a yellow pendant was already floating in front of her. The key to earth power? Yunwu was a little surprised. She was surprised. No matter what, she never thought that the man who disturbed them was the key to her search for the earth power, which gathered the four forces of nature. Dragon Qing Evil see this. Eyebrow also can't help but micro-provocation. Shangguan and others were also surprised. I hope Yunwu girl, after accepting this gift, can forgive me for what I have done. You know, this ATU has been sealed on the top of the desert for a long time, and has absorbed the blood and bones of Warcraft and all ethnic groups on the top of the desert for a long time. You will be hard to accept it if you don't handle it. To become a sperm? The key of the earth power, can it be refined? Although for this Night's words, feel incredible, but it seems that in front of us. Cloud Dance looked at the yellow pendant floating in front of her eyes, but without hesitation, she reached for it. I saw that the yellow pendant into the palm obviously felt a trace of resistance. If you put your water power with it, ATU will not dare to resist. At this time, the Knight said with a smile. The cloud dances to smell speech. Lifted the eye to glance the eye Knight, the eye ground flashed a silk to doubt. But still the silver pendant with the yellow pendant wrapped together, after the income of the space. You seem to know a lot of things? Cloud Dance looks at that Knight suspiciously. Who are you? Night smell speech, mysterious hook lips smile, but the line of sight from Cloud Dance body slightly turned to Dragon Qing evil body. I think this question need not I answer, but I believe he won't say, since your men don't say, I can't say anything, right? Brother Long the Cloud's frown. Dragon Qingxia put his hand around Cloud Dance's waist, raised his golden eyes and looked straight into the strange eyes of the Knight. That's each other. These two people's dialogue discerning people can hear, between the two hidden things. However, it seems that neither of them can say it. Well, now that I've given the gifts, I won't give them to you. Knight suddenly said with a smile, but the meaning of the words was obvious. In fact, Yunwu wants to ask many questions, but she knows that there must be a reason for Long Qingxia. And this night, she probably won't speak. What about those people? Cloud Dance asked. The people in her mouth are naturally the hundreds of mercenaries who wanted to help her save people. If all these things are caused by this Knight, it is estimated that those people are still alive. Don't worry, they are people on the top of the desert. They won't die so wrongly. I heard that Yunwu was a little relieved. At least, she doesn't have to feel that she owes them nothing to die for her. You should know the position of the Phoenix clan, right? At this time, Long Qingxia glanced at the Knight and asked. I know. Where? In fact, it's not far. It's on the easternmost side of the top of the desert. The Knight laughs. Easternmost? Dragon in the west, Phoenix in the east? However, in this way, they will save trouble and go straight across the top of the desert. However, the Knight suddenly added another sentence. However, you can't get to the Phoenix clan like this. Even the East Pole can't live for 3 days. Cloud Dance suddenly frowned, staring at the Knight. Why? The Knight smiles mysteriously, carries his hands behind him, and says, the East Pole is the highest temperature place on the top of the desert, and any creature can't live in it for 3 days. That's why even people on the top of the desert rarely know the location of the Phoenix clan. Unless what? Don't play games anymore. Yunwu's face was cold and his heart was not happy. Haha. The knight chuckled and continued. The land of the East Pole is extremely hot day and night. Because it is the nearest barrier to cover, besides the extreme heat, there is a huge pressure. There is no extremely cold pill refined by a master-level pharmacist, and no one can cross it. The extreme cold pill of the master-level pharmacist? Cloud Dance frowns tightly. Not to mention the master-level pharmacists, only pharmacists are rare. How to find the master-level pharmacists? What's more, even if there is a master pharmacist, the herbs and time of alchemy are also a problem. What's more, I don't know if there is a master-level pharmacist. Hio, if you use the human level, what is your alchemy level? Black Ao was silent for a while. Then the dull voice came out. Even in its heyday, it was not a great master. Even the heyday of Hio can't reach the level of master, so how can we find another master? Of course, it's the closest way to go through the East Pole, but it's not that there's no other way. Is there another way? Where? Leaving the top of the desert to return to the mainland of China, and crossing the most eastern border of the mainland of China, it should not be far away from the Phoenix tribe. However, such a journey will take at least a month. A month? They have been delayed for a long time in the Dragon Clan. If they are delayed for a month, and they still don't know the whereabouts of the Wind Heart, in the Phoenix Clan, I don't know what follow-up actions will be taken by the Beast Gate. Time is their hard wound. It seems that Yunwu girl is not satisfied with the information provided by me. Well, to show my apology, I'll give Miss Yunwu another gift. I hope it can help you. Knight said, open delicate palm, quietly lying a delicate jade box. Gifts? Looking at the box, Cloudbrow can't help ring up. However, Yunwu took it and slowly opened the jade box. The moment the jade box was opened, the air was extremely cold, and the breath of Yin and cold poured out from the crack of the box. Yunwu couldn't help stirring up. How cold? What's this? The jade box opened, and a crystal-clear elixir was embedded in the special wooden block, surrounded by cold air. This is a very cold pill. It's a farewell gift. Jihan pill? Yunwu looks at the extremely cold pill in her hand. The body of the pill is full of beautiful cold air curling up. Just looking at it, she can feel the coolness of the extremely cold pill. It's cold and cool. Shengguan looked at Jihan Dan, and couldn't help muttering that the coldness sent out by Jihan Dan was comparable to that of the lunar month. And there was a trace of eerie feeling. As everyone knows, it's absolutely rare. However, this extremely cold pill can only be taken by one person. After the night, everyone's face changed slightly. So many people, what's the use of only one Jihan pill? Cloud Dance Willow Eyebrow Condensation. This extremely cold pill can only be refined by a master-level pharmacist. It's extremely rare to have one. She doesn't think he can take out a second one. One is not enough. Mengbai looked at the extremely cold Dan, and couldn't help complaining to look at the knight. You really don't have it? The knight's treacherous smile. This is like a rare treasure, there is a miracle already. What he said was serious, but his tone was extremely flat. Hearing this, Mengbai felt harsh, but he couldn't find a refutation point, so he could only stop talking. Xiaowu, it seems that we can only walk from the border. Situ Longwei looks at Junmei as if he is asking. Of course, it's more convenient to walk from the border than to pass the insurance in the desert, but it also takes more time. For a long time. Well, I'll go in from the desert first, and you'll take them to the border. After thinking for a moment, Yunwu looks back at the evil way to the dragon. Go to the border together. Long Qingxia's sword eyebrows wrinkled slightly, and he didn't agree with Yunwu's proposal. He left. Who took care of her? Time is limited. I'll go to the Phoenix clan first. At the border, only you can develop the teleportation array. Cloud Dance tone insipid. I ground but died a trace of complexity. You have to be careful. Her attitude is firm and her meaning is self-evident. Well, if you need to do something, you can do it when you go. Dragon Qing evil micro sigh. Compromise, she decided things, he does not want to stop. Even if the result is he worried about her to death. Looking at him, Cloud danced slightly jawhead. Eyes like spring breeze swept into his eyes. A moment, then put on a layer of indifference. That moment of abnormality is her fetter to him. Uncle Ben is with you. I can't trust you for saving this guy a few years. Red fire dragon of face can't bear of Piao Longqing evil one eye. Cloud danced tiny jawhead. If it is red fire dragon, even if there is no extremely cold Dan, should also have no problem? Anyway, it's also a fire dragon. Everyone nodded in agreement. Are you sure you're okay? Mengbai took a look at the red dragon. His tone was suspicious, but his eyes were worried. Although they know that he is a fire, they can't imagine how hot the desert is. Don't worry about me. Red fire dragon responded with a violent temper. I didn't expect you to be so amorous. What did you say? Believe it or not. All right. Cloud dance eyes slightly cool, swept red fire dragon one eye. Go. Red fire dragon stares at Mengbai and turns to follow Cloud dance to leave. Looking at the figure, everyone's eyes flashed a trace of worry. At this position, they have already felt the abnormal heat. If they continue to move forward, strive for one day to reach the border. The figure of Long Qingxia and others was ethereal and disappeared in the same place. A day? It's going to take a month, isn't it? How to get there in one day? Only night. Looking at the back of the cloud dance. The corners of the mouth stir up a smile as if thinking. In the endless desert, the yellow sand gradually turns into fire red, like a raging fire, and the undulating sand peaks are like waves. All the way east, cloud dance only feel a word hot. No, it's not hot, it's hot. Red rolling hot. Looking at the distance, cannot see the trace of the phoenix. She felt that this degree of heat has been unbearable. What the hell is this place? Why is it so hot? Red fire dragon curse. Just now can heat out a few drops of sweat, now even no sweat. He belongs to the fire department. He can't bear the heat. I'm afraid he has no face to talk about it. The burning red sand is rustling and creaking step by step, which makes people more hot and dry. Although she took Jihan pill, she could clearly feel the heat of the desert. Is the phoenix not far away? Would you like something to eat? You didn't even take the baggage. What else do you have to eat? Red fire dragon has no good spirit of white cloud dance one eye. Cloud dance vermilion micro hook, light way. Do it yourself, plenty of food and clothing. In the distance, a warcraft was approaching them. A whole body transparent, glowing warcraft, just like a ruby crystal warcraft. More than 10 meters away, Cloud Dance can easily feel the power and heat from warcraft. Is there any warcraft near the Phoenix clan? The red fire dragon cried in surprise. Cloud Dance a smile. We have no warcraft. Maybe it's the food of the Phoenix. Phoenix feeds on warcraft. You're a fool. Cloud Dance breathes a smile. Once again eyes on warcraft. This warcraft doesn't seem to live here, but it seems to adapt to the climate here. However, this warcraft risks its life to live in the Phoenix clan. What's the secret? Roar. Warcraft demonstration threat. Cloud Dance frowns and sneers. A 6th level warcraft, but her strength is above the 8th level. I don't know why she can smell the taste of power taken by warcraft. A touch of very familiar, but can't remember what it is. If you kill him, you won't get angry, will you? Red Fire Dragon seems to feel something. Yes. Then how? Continue to be hungry? Red Fire Dragon glances at the Cloud Dance, and has some helplessness to her cool. You want it or not? This warcraft only appeared as food. What shall we do? Kill or not? The Red Fire Dragon roared wildly. How can a simple question be so tangled? Kill as fast as you can. Can't delay time. She obviously felt that the scorching degree of the desert was beyond the range of Jihan Dan. With Jihan Dan, she also felt that her skin was about to be scorched. Hearing the words of Cloud Dance, the Red Fire Dragon attacked Warcraft in the next second, and he couldn't bear the heat of the desert. Waves of heat came, which was mild, but now it became extremely sharp, like a burning sickle touching the skin. A few quarters of an hour later, the Red Fire Dragon and Warcraft are not even up and down, and the red fire dragon is slightly inferior because of lack of physical strength. Bang! At the moment when Warcraft hurt red fire dragon, a big knife with black flame suddenly appeared, isolated between the two. Should those who hurt me ask for my advice? The strange and fierce atmosphere of darkness scattered, confused the sight, and forced Warcraft to retreat, unable to resist. Hissing. Warcraft's eyes are fierce, showing two tusks. The power in its body suddenly erupts. It seems to be combined with the power of high temperature in the desert. It is strangely hot. Then try to fight with yourself. Cloud Dance is like as two peas, and the corners of the mouth open with a smile of poppy, and the black flame knife is folded, and the hands are folded together. In the middle of the air, a monster is exactly the same as the Warcraft. Warcraft's eyes seem to be stunned for a moment, and then attack Warcraft with the same appearance and different power. Your Warcraft can match it. Red Fire Dragon's suspicious sight hovers between Cloud Dance and Warcraft. No, Cloud Dance's eyes were cold. Taking advantage of a gap, the black flame sword flashed out and cut through the heat wave. The lethal force directly divided Warcraft into two. Poof! Blood splashes on the desert, just like desert flowers blooming. But I can. Yunwu puts away the black flame sword and raises eyebrows at the red fire dragon. The red fire dragon's breath was a little messy, and the resentful eyes looked at the indifferent Cloud Dance. I knew that I didn't have to work hard. Although she said that, she was secretly surprised. The comparison of Warcraft was also made with her own strength. What's the concept of one hit? Yunwu glanced at him and didn't say anything. Maybe only she could see that this Warcraft could not resist the scorching heat of the desert. What power or elixir was missing? Let's go. With a glance at the charred Warcraft, the elements of Cloud Dance and Wind Rush all the way to the east. They galloped all the way. The heat wave was like a raging fire, and their skin was burning. Finally, the desert was full of fire, as if they were in a sea of fire. Ah, damn it, I can't do it. Behind him came the screams and curses of the red fire dragon. Cloud Dance takes the wind element. Looking back, the red fire dragon has fallen on the ground, gasping. It seems that it has reached the limit. If you don't have enough space, I'll go faster myself. It seems to be discussed again, but there are already actions on the hand. You mean I dragged you? Without waiting for the red fire dragon to finish, Cloud Dance has taken it back to the little stinky fire ring. She took the extremely cold pill. All felt so hard, even if the fire department is afraid, also difficult to withstand. Then he continued to run all the way, but the speed dropped significantly. All of a sudden, Yunwu felt something abnormal in the fire system space, and directly let out the little stink in his meditation. Mama. Little Stinky was just released. She was in a good mood. She didn't bother her for the first time. Instead, she was wandering in the desert. How could she forget that Yunwu is the descendant of Phoenix, and this is its home? Though it is not purebred, but the temperature here is not expected to have any effect on it. However, after a while, Yunwu can't help frowning slightly, looking at the little stinky eyes, some pondering. Is it eating the pressure of high temperature? The high temperature in the desert is extremely powerful. Because of this power, it is more and more difficult for her to use the wind element, but the little stink is eating it. She didn't think much, just a clear smile. It is also the offspring of the phoenix. This is its territory. It is estimated that this power may be used as food. But the strange thing is, how does it feel like it's getting bigger? Cloud Dance wring eyebrows, want to take a closer look, but because of the small stink and jump, can't see clearly, even if the elements of Cloud Dance wind attack the body. Gallop all the way, never slacken. However, as the temperature of the scorching sand kept rising, she also felt more and more difficult, and could only communicate with Little Stink to divert her attention. Little Stink, how do you feel? Mama. Xiao Smelly is very excited, and seems to be escorting Yunwu. Cloud Dance a smile. Perhaps so can let her ignore at the moment extremely cold Dan also can't bear the hot. It's getting hotter and hotter, like a volcanic eruption. The Cloud Dance stops the wind element. The breath is dignified, the lips are a little dry, the skin is red, There is no strength to continue to use the wind element. If it wasn't for Jihan Dan, she would have been baked without blood. It's hard to bear before entering the Phoenix clan. If the temperature in the Phoenix clan is higher than this, it's really life-threatening. I hope it's just a barrier to protect the Phoenix clan. Little stink, you can see how long it will take to get to the Phoenix clan. Since it is the offspring of Phoenix, it has at least a little sense. However, in response to her, it was silence. What makes silence golden? Yunwu slapped his head. I saw a round thing rolling down on her head. Small stink soars again, but flies very low. And the skin is also abnormal red. The cloud dances and frowns. What's the matter? Just want to walk a few steps. Cloud dance but fell in the hot desert. The body seems to be hollowed out in general. Heart suddenly a tight pain. Inexplicable a panic. All of a sudden, Yunwu found that Xiaoqiu's body was a big circle. Just in a moment, his body suddenly expanded, and his skin began to crack. With the continuous splitting of blood, his body became bigger. The cloud dances the eye ground to be startled to pass. Just it swallows the high temperature pressure. The bodily form enlarges is true. See small stink constantly struggling pain. Eyes pain of a scarlet. Yunwu heart surprised. Little stink. Cloud dance quickly read out. Want to take back the little stink space. But I don't know why, can't take back. What's going on? Hovering in the air of the small stink struggling, Cloud Dance can clearly see that it has a strong red power. That's the high temperature force it just absorbed? This stinky thing, eat everything. Yunwu didn't have time to think much, so she just stood up and used her dark power to try to control the restlessness of the high temperature power in Xiaoqiu's body. I don't know why, after touching the power of magic bite, the high temperature power really calmed down a lot, and Xiao Stinky's painful look lightened a little. This makes Yunwu a little relieved. But because of the power of high temperature, its body is completely red, wrapped by red light, and the temperature is extremely hot, so Cloud Dance can't get close to it at all. Bang! There was a loud landing. Small Stinky soft fall on the ground, look calm and soft, but has no consciousness. Are you asleep? She felt the extreme cold in her body. Dan could not resist the high temperature in the desert. Her strength was getting weaker and weaker. If she didn't leave quickly, but how did she get rid of this little thing? Get him into Chaos Hall. Black proud and lazy voice came from my mind. What can we do? Besides her, she didn't know how to let other people into the Chaos Hall. Otherwise, she would not have no way out and had to work hard every time when her life was at stake. She is your contract beast. You enter the Chaos Temple and summon it. When summoning, don't have any thoughts. Maybe you have a chance to succeed. Black Proud said flat, Cloud Dance, but know the chance of success is not big, but also must try. The first floor gate of Chaos Hall is certainly helpful to Xiao Chao's current situation. When Yunwu sneaks into the Hall of Chaos, Shengmen Lingqi comes to her face and surrounds her. She sits on her knees to dispel the distracting thoughts. Xinyan calls Xiaoqiu. The first level of Shengmen's spiritual power is extremely pure. Yunwu stays here to summon Xiaoqiu, and his dry power feeling has been restored. After a while, the spiritual power of the students suddenly gathered. It was ethereal and seemed to wander back and forth in search of something. Finally, it stayed around the clouds and felt. Cloud Dance looks calm. Calm calls Small Stink, naturally did not find this strange scene. Just when I don't know how many times Yunwu called Xiaoqiu, Shengmen Lingli left around Yunwu and disappeared instantly. In the blink of an eye the next second, a red light suddenly appeared in the door. The Cloud Dance sensed. The moment opens the Phoenix Eye, then sees the Small Stink sleeps on the ground. The eye light moment joyful. It seems to be a success. I didn't expect that the first time you use summon you succeeded. Black Proud slightly surprised voice sound. Cloud Dance willow eyebrow tiny pick, a touch of radiant raised. Trouble you to take care of it. Although I can float to the first floor, my real range of activities is only the second floor. I can't intervene in the first floor. Black Proud some helpless. Can't intervene, can you intervene? Cloud Dance indifferent eyes. A phantom disappeared in the door. Hyo shook his head, alas. Looking at the red desert. The clouds dance and gather their eyes to meditate. The little stink is in the gate of life. Don't worry about it for the time being. Next, you should enter the phoenix family as soon as possible. The extremely cold Dan in her body can no longer bear the higher temperature, so she has to cross the red desert as fast as possible. When the wind element is lifted up, the shadow disappears instantly. On the other side, the hurricane was so violent that it messed up a group of people. I don't know what kind of weather it is. Shangguan's curse was caught in the wind and immediately disappeared. His hair was flying, straight and horizontal, and he grabbed his clothes with one hand, so as not to be torn apart by the wind. One day, the dragon was crazy. In order to get on the way, he made a lot of teleportation arrays to shorten the distance. The risk was not explained. However, the bad situation here at this time makes people curse. After passing through this Fengao, it should be the border of Fenghuang people. Nanganji looks at the hurricane coming in the distance again with a calm look. Well, this wind depression should be a protective barrier. Situlan nodded in agreement. This wind depression is not simple. If it wasn't for their equal strength, I'm afraid they would have been torn apart by the sharp wind. Why are you all okay? Shangguan was in a mess in the wind. He looked at the others with a runny nose and tears, just like a few gods. Don't you know how to fight against the wind depression? Look, you've been blown a fool. Meng Bai's ruthless irony. I don't know what happened to her. Pray for the cold night. Although there is no name and surname, everyone knows who she is talking about. Worry about us first. Sure enough, it won't pass so smoothly. It's Wind Warcraft. Warcraft of the Wind? Does this belong to the nature series of Warcraft? Situlan looked at the only dragon that he could know, and was surprised. It can also be said that it is a natural Warcraft. After all, the wind comes from nature, but the form of Warcraft should be compared with human beings. The dragon's evil golden eyes narrowed slightly, and the eyes were evil and dangerous. You mean someone controls the wind? Nangong Yi's warm and cool voice rarely reveals a touch of surprise. It's preset. Praying for the night color glanced at the South Palace one eye. The cold tone slightly eases. Long Qingxia nodded, the power of Warcraft compared with the real wind. Before he finished speaking, the next second, a gust of wind came, and the dragon's evil figure stepped back a few steps. He stopped again, and his breathing was a little short. Golden eyes jump with a bloodthirsty smile. He looks at the distant Warcraft. The breath is dangerous. All of them were stunned when they looked at the repulsed dragon. It was really terrible that he could not guard against the speed of resistance. It's a little tricky. We move. Suddenly, a strange wind swept through my ears. The words of "let's do it" in Situlan's mouth haven't been spoken, and the figure of praying for the night has joined the battle. They all looked at each other, and could not help thinking of Cloud Dance. Their faces turned black, and then they joined the battle. In the red desert, the purple shadow is advancing at a speed that cannot be captured. High temperature constantly blowing burning. The body's extremely cold Dan has reached the limit, and the power absorbed and restored by the spiritual power of the living people in the body began to gradually lose. The scene before us was scarlet, and there was no other sight. That pair of shining star eyes has completely reduced to scarlet. Damn it! Why can't you see the phoenix? Cloud Dance slightly frown. Eye color in the past a touch of worry. Droop eyes to see. The skin on the arm has been dry. A piece of dander indistinct cracks. In this way, life will account for the red desertification, and the blood will evaporate. Although extremely worried, but the wind element did not stop, still with the fastest speed away. In the distance, there is a faint anomaly, a gray light spot, which is particularly striking in this scarlet hot world. The cloud dances, the fine on of the eye ground flits by, finally arrived? But the second she let her guard down. Ah poof! A touch of strong momentum suddenly directly hit the wind element behind her. That strong force directly into her heart, over the river. The blood flowed along the corner of the mouth, and the scene was as scarlet as blood. The painful convulsion in the heart made Yunwu feel a bit suffocated. Fire Kiran. At the last second of her coma, she seemed to see the shadow of Huaqilan. Purple shadow fell to the ground and fell into a completely dark world. Red sun all over the sky, quiet, for weeks of static numbness, cold, some chill. In the dry forest, a figure was lying quietly by the stream. There was a trace of blood in the corner of his slightly pale mouth, which had dried up. A move appeared in the woods, and the two figures walked towards the figure with subtle steps and slow breathing, which seemed to be very rigorous. Master, she seems to have been poisoned by cicada. Do you want to help her? She's human. What? Actually, it's human. Human beings have the ability to break into the phoenix family? Is this the so-called human? Come on, the phoenix will not accept the existence of human beings without pure noble blood. The two figures left one after the other. Two things that can't be saved in the face of death. A condensation of the curse spread. Cold eyes like a blade shot at two people. The man, who was called Shifu, had a mysterious smile when he felt a chill in his back. Soon, the two figures disappeared in the woods. Yunwu sat up from the side of the stream and looked at the completely healed skin, with some doubts in his heart. Just now, the two people talked about what cicada poison she had. Why didn't she feel that she was poisoned? Isn't she in a coma in the desert? How did you get here? Suddenly the star eye glances to the chest. Willow eyebrow condensation. Is Fire Qilin saved her? Looking around, looking at the place where she was at the moment, the scene shocked her. It's scorched everywhere. The trees, flowers and plants are all scorched yellow without any vitality. It's like scorching everywhere in autumn. But now it's summer. Even in autumn, it doesn't make sense that a piece of green grass is missing, right? If the temperature here is similar to that in the desert, it's reasonable. But the temperature inside is a few degrees lower than that in Shacheng. How can 100 trees wither? Is this what the Fenghuang people like? Cloud Dance stood up. The body strength has been restored. The burning sense of tear is gone. The body returned to normal life again. After a moment's meditation, Yunwu's figure suddenly disappeared in the direction where they had just left. In the streets of Yonghua, there are phoenix hovering in the sky and human phoenix walking on the ground. Like the dragon people, there are some phoenix people who resist human beings and do not want to appear in human form. Yunwu stands in a remote location, carefully observing and pondering. She is worried about a problem. According to the lessons of the dragon, if she rashly enters the phoenix, will she be chased to death? Suddenly, her eyes fell on a plaque hanging on the street, unable to move. Hell and Heaven. It's an interesting name. Yunwu tried to hide his own breath, went to the crowd, held a very beautiful woman, pointed to the street entrance and said, "Excuse me, where is that?" The woman scornfully swept the clouds up and down, chin slightly young, showing a touch of sarcastic smile. Just came, right? People who want to survive in the Phoenix clan need to go there once. Those who can come out can continue to stay. Those who can't come out, he's dead. Listen to her tone, as if at a glance to see through the cloud dance is human identity. However, what surprised Yunwu was that from the tone of this Phoenix woman, it seemed that the Phoenix people were not the dragon people, and they would like to gnash their teeth when they saw human beings. Instead, it seemed that there was a kind of existence in the Phoenix people that human beings were humble slaves. Cloud Dance tiny squint eyes son. Is really a don't give human self-respect place. Is that what hell heaven, between life and death, means? But I advise you to leave the Phoenix clan, or you will become a slave for life. That's a waste of this beautiful face. The woman is coquettish a smile, and the smile said not to be able to satirize. Cloud Dance light glanced at a woman one eye, vermilion lightly opens. When seeing you again I definitely answered you this sentence. Don't look at the woman's stupefied look. Yunwu turns to the intersection of hell and heaven. There are rules for survival in every place. The dragon people are arrogant, but the Phoenix people are more arrogant than the dragon people. Therefore in their eyes, human beings are just a game to pass the time. Looking at the plaque on the street, her eyes were quiet. She guessed that the people who went in didn't come out, did they? So that's why she didn't see a single human? Whether it is or not, it seems that it is not the time to think more. When Yunwu walked into the street, he smelled a very bad smell and could not help frowning slightly. Another human to get a pass? The frivolous tone came from the back of Yunwu. Cloud Dance looked back, but found that there was no one behind him. Just as he was walking around, a voice of ridicule sounded again. It's really stupid. Human beings only know how to look at the ground when they hear voices. The cloud dances to lift the eye. In the eye light flits over a silk chili, twinkling of an eye namely die. Over the sky is a phoenix with silver fire, just like the phoenix flying in the sky. At first glance, it looks extremely dazzling and noble, but it makes Yunwu feel so unbearable that it is difficult to look directly at it. Take back the line of sight. Cloud Dance did not answer, turned away. Horizontal, what horizontal? Lao Tzu talks to you. Behind him, the silver phoenix is in hot pursuit. Cloud Dance is still walking without turning back. And its pace has not slowed down at all. Can't you hear me when I talk to you? Humble human. A hand behind him grasped Yunwu's shoulder. Just as he wanted to pull Yunwu hard, Yunwu suddenly turned around and startled the man. Do you think you're cheap now? Cloud Dance sneers. The silver phoenix glares at the clouds and has no words to refute. He's showing up as a human now. Can you say that he's cheap? You are so noble. Are you cheap to talk to me as a human being? Cloud Dance's pick eyebrows. Yunwu glances at him, turns around and leaves again. She doesn't want to cause any disturbance when she first enters the Phoenix clan, but it doesn't mean that if other people have nothing to look for, she won't give a tit for tat. The dilapidated street is an extremely evil place. This place should be the darkest in the Phoenix clan. I'll buy her to be my concubine. 1,000 liang. You're against me, aren't you? What else do you want? Noisy crowd. All kinds of voices, extremely harsh. Yunwu walked towards the crowd and saw a ragged, disheveled woman tied up in a white tassel skirt, with her hair covered and her face not clear. Take a look at these people who are shouting at 521,000 taels. They are full of flesh and blood, which makes people feel disgusted. Is this the noble and beautiful phoenix? Why do you feel like a disgusting upstart? You're good. 1,000 liang finally bought the woman's hand in front of him. The man dragged his fat body and narrowed his small eyes into a seam. Lift up the woman's hair. The man's expression is a zheng strange change. It is a cloud dance. See all feel perfect face. Goose face, watery eyes, delicate nose, look aggrieved but calm. People cannot help but feel pity. What are you doing? Take her back to me. Yunwu looks at the woman with a cold look at the bottom of her star eyes. After thinking for a long time, I finally made a decision. 5,000 taels. Cold voice is like a bomb in general. The crowd will instantly blow the boiling. All eyes were on the woman who spoke 5,000 taels. 5,000 taels? The man looked at Yunwu suspiciously, looked scornfully, stretched out a hand. Take it out. Cloud Dance eyes intentionally or unintentionally swept that woman one eye. Caught that woman eyebrow between a trace of anger. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.